afternoon? We hope so. Your commentary team, Martin Gritton and Alan Seabrook.
Yeah, thanks, James. FA Cup, new manager, new year, of course. Argyle unbeaten this year. It's all very exciting. So pleased to be here this afternoon. I love the FA Cup. I know a lot of people do. It's been a bit devalued of late, but certainly it still has a little bit of a frisson of magic. And of course, if Argyle can upset a Premier League side this afternoon, that would just add to the whole history of the competition. Argyle make 4 changes this afternoon from the side that drew at Stoke last weekend. Michael Badu in the week starts this afternoon, as does Paulson, Wright and Roberts. Out go Seuss, JB, Al Hadj and Obafemi. The starting lineup for the Greens then this afternoon. Hazard in goal, back 3 of Galloway, Plegathuelo and Paulson. The 4 across the midfield, Mumba and Soranola in the wide positions. Roberts and Randall in the middle. The 2 number 10s are Whittaker and Wright. Badu will be up front. It'll be interesting to see how he makes out this afternoon. On the bench for Argyle this afternoon, Grimshaw, Ogbeta, Sissoko, Seuss, Bundu, Pauhach, JB, Al Hadj and Isaka. An exciting afternoon of FA Cup football ahead. We've already heard from Martin Gretton, who scored against Brentford. What's it like to play, and how important is it just to keep this great old competition going?
Yeah, no, fantastic. And really for Argyle to get drawn against a Premier League team, tough time for them to come here, particularly in the form that they've been in. But, you know, there was a glimmer of hope with a couple of draws that have certainly brought some positivity around and maybe just kind of stopped the rot and given them a platform. But the new manager sat behind us. He's got a big task ahead. Exciting time for him. Yeah, and I'm sure having a look at his team playing in this, brilliant old trophy. That's a famous opportunity for Argyle this afternoon. Being in the 3rd round of the FA Cup's huge for the smaller teams. For Argyle today, it's just a chance for them to take their mind off league, the problems in the league, and just enjoy the afternoon.
How important is it going to be for the new guy in charge to have a look at what is basically a free hit, to assess what he's got in front of him?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? These sort of games are a little bit of a false one, but it's an opportunity for the players to show their desire, certainly. They'll want to impress the manager, they'll want to impress the travelling Greens. Another brilliant display from them, turnout from them, just under 2,500 over to our right-hand side. The players, if you can't get up for these games, you can't get up for any games. So massive FA Cup opportunity, but Brentford are a brilliant team. So pitting your wits against the best footballers in the country and some of the best players in the Premier League is a great honour, a great opportunity with the new manager sat in the stands.
Will, you mentioned it just there, really. They're going to want to impress the new boss. How much is that extra impetus is that going to give them that might carry them over the line this afternoon?
Yeah, well, I think the occasion itself is enough to get up for it, but the manager's going to be looking and just seeing the desire in the players. It's very difficult to gauge how good they are when they're playing against Premier League players, but he'll certainly want to see a response, for not just him being here, but the occasion, and a lot of the players on display. They're playing against a team that don't know much about them. Week in, week out in the Championship, teams are starting to work Argyle out. Certainly know some of the players, the dangers, players like Whittaker. But Badu, again, we're seeing him for the first time today. Argyle fans are seeing him for the first time today. A real opportunity for him, and I'm really excited to see, the impact he can have. Perhaps, he's got a chance to, impress against the Premier League team. So there's a lot at stake.
And it's going to be important that he's going to have to do that, because no Ryan Hardy, no Obafemi, it's going to fall on his shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, the attacking options in the team, isn't it? I mean, Badu's probably going to play up ahead of Galloway and right in behind.
Who sadly passed away just prior to the new year. Anthony, who had Down syndrome, will be remembered by many for his heartwarming attempts to generate an atmosphere from the bench pre-match at Griffith Park during the 35 plus years he worked at the club. He will be sadly missed by many.
Having a minute's applause for a Brentford fan who passed away recently. So here we are, the G-Tech then. Argyle looking to go through to the next round of the FA Cup. Always exciting that. And it could just kickstart their season, I guess. A good result this afternoon. Do so much for the confidence of a side bottom of the Championship. But you look at where Argyle in the table, I don't think they're not dead and buried, are they?
No, but it's a huge week coming up.
Yes.
You know, if you're listening earlier on, Chris Errington talking about it and just saying how massive those games are. Not just you've got a new manager coming in, but you've got 3 games that could define essentially your season, because if you get some good points and performances from that, it really sets you up and you're back in contention. But if you look at, you know, if you come out of those with nothing, then it's going to be it's almost an impossible task.
I was at Oxford and they were awful, really. Wayne Rooney didn't have the wherewithal. The knowledge seems to change things. Since then, two draws. They've scored some goals. They kept a clean sheet. Things have been on the up even before under Kevin Lansfield. They've got something to come into this with.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and we've seen these players, they can perform at this level, and
yes,
you know, and it's not like they've just come up and go back. They stayed up last season, and they've got a core. There's certainly players out there, and it's great to see Randall wearing the captain's armband. You know, they've got an opportunity to stay in the league, and you know, there's plenty of time left.
The ball goes forward. Callum Wright has it. Centre field, inside right channel. Plays it with the outside the right boot, off to the right hand side, and it's flicked down the line. Callum Wright's made the little run out to that far side, but that's going to be comfortable for Brentford just to clear up. And they play the ball into touch on the far side. It's going to be important, I guess, for Argyle to make a good start, because we've seen what Brentford can do against Premier League sides in the opening couple of minutes. Throw on the right hand side then for Argyle, just inside the Brentford half. So eventually going to take the throw, and now it does go down the line, and they're looking for Whittaker. Whittaker won't get to that. Eventually kind of twists and just manages to wrestle the ball away, but it's won again by Brentford on the left hand side. Free kick though conceded by Whittaker. And it's taken quickly by Brentford off to this near side for Brentford, who under pressure, just it's turned and goes back from Roslev, the right full back, and it goes into the middle now for Brentford, off to the left hand side. Brentford with 3 at the back, I think, rather than 4, but now they play a long angle ball to this near side. Roslev chasing that for Brentford. It goes bouncing through and behind for a goal kick for Argyle. The Argyle fans banked away to my right hand side. Again, a wonderful turnout from the Green Army, and the ball will bounce into touch. Goal kick then for Argyle, and they're going to play this short. We've got Galloway's on one corner of the 6-yard box, and Paulson's on the other. Randall comes to the edge of the box, just inside it, but they're all under just a little bit of pressure, and in the end Hazard just decides, we're not going to take this kick, it's too risky, so they spots it up on the edge of the 6-yard box on the right hand side. Then left footed will play this long and high down the right hand side. Argyle looking to get the ball to Baidoo, but he won't get to that one. Brentford will pick it up down the left hand side. They're trying to build, and then it's played into the middle. Brentford have it though, and they flick it off to the right hand side to Roslev, and Roslev plays it forward, and Brentford quick passing, and it goes now to Paris Magoma, and then it's back out to the right hand side, then wide on the right hand side once again. Magoma's on the ball, plays it infield, and it's a little triangle, then a ball across the back line for Brentford, who are trying to build down the left hand side now, but they're under pressure from Argyle. It's good work there on that far side from Argyle, putting Brentford under pressure, and they'll play the ball to this near side. And Brentford at the moment just happy to maintain the possession and pass the ball around. Callum Wright puts pressure on, Baidoo puts pressure on, and eventually it will go all the way back to the keeper, who rolls it out to the right edge of his penalty area. And then Brentford once again looking to build slowly from the back, and it's chipped off to the left hand side by Van der Berg, and then Henry has it back in field for Van der Berg. Van der Berg plays it across the line, and Brentford, as many Premier League sides do, looking to build slowly again from the back. Jisoo plays it off to Van der Berg, and then it's out to the left hand side, and and then backwards. Argyle at the moment pressing fairly high and trying to put Brentford under pressure, but the pressure is well, it's working to a degree. They're going backwards. Van der Berg off to the left-hand side, and then back to the keeper. But
no, it's good. It's good press from Argyle. They're in good shape. You've seen Wright and Whittaker quite narrow for them, so they're not cutting the ball out to the width they're occupying the centre half. So it's really not giving Brentford many options to come through the middle.
The only issue that I worry that I have is that Argyle are doing a lot of chasing of spaces at the moment, and it's right to do that, but Brentford are going to be getting them to chase the ball quite a bit during the game. And the ball played to this near side, and
that's good.
Yarmouk can't get to that one. It rolls into touch on this near side, but as you say, you put pressure on the ball, and then that's how the opposition make mistakes. But I'm just worried about the legs.
Well, if you look at it though, the good thing is it's the forwards doing the legwork there.
Yeah,
you know, it's the defence in the midfield, the waves of attack that have really suffered for Argyle in the defeats that we've seen over the season. So as long as the strikers are keeping them busy.
Mumba plays takes the throw, looks for Roberts, picked up though by Brentford. They play the ball down the centre of the field. Argyle though will just defend that about 10 yards outside their box. Comes to this near side, that's the Argyle left for Barley Mumba, and Mumba twisting and turning under heaps of pressure, but eventually gets away from his man. Now he drives upfield, plays it with the outside the right boot into the centre of the field, and then it goes to Poulsen off to the right hand side and played down the line by Pleguezuelo further forward, and then it comes into the middle. Baidoo goes into the area, and for a moment there Baidoo look, he might have just got into the area, but they're all just running away from him. The keeper got it, but that was a nice bit of running down the right hand side, ball into the box, nice, and Baidoo left his man and got for a moment looked like it was opening up.
I tell you what, it was a real good chance. With the way he was taking the ball, you thought that, can he go round the keeper here? Maybe his first touch would have taken him just a little bit wider, but couldn't quite get himself sorted out. But brilliant play from Argyle, and it all started from Ballymumba here, just keeping his head. Perhaps he's only one of the Argyle players that could keep the ball that long and not lose possession. Brilliant from him. But yeah, great build-up play from Argyle.
Argyle have it with Randall. Randall lays it off for Callum Wright, off to the left-hand side where he pick up Barley Mumba once again. He's got lots of room to run into, and he does so, level with the edge of the penalty area, wide on the left-hand side, lots of pressure, spins his way through two tackles on into the penalty area. But the ball goes out, but that was a lovely bit of skill. Barley Mumba's enjoying this already.
Yeah, brilliant from him. Needs to get back in and get his breath back from two brilliant bits of play from him, and if just ran away from him on that touchline there, didn't it? But I mean, it's got the Argyle fans in good voice already, isn't it? I mean, great noise coming from our right hand side.
Brentford then coming forward, they play it into for Sharda, and Sharda will play that backwards, and it goes out to the left hand side. Brentford now building, and it's some defending to be done by Argyle, played across the penalty area. It doesn't run out of play, comes to this near side for Brentford, and they play it back for Magoma, and Magoma under pressure spins full circle, much as Barley Mumba did just a few moments ago, and Brentford now maintaining possession, but Argyle pressing and pushing, and Magoma has to play the ball backwards towards the halfway line, and Argyle now will pick that off. Baidoo's there, and he manages to lay it off. Whittaker, lovely feet, takes him past one player, off to the left-hand side for Callum Wright, steps in field, right-footed, that's a long angle ball out to the right-hand side. A little bit optimistic maybe, Brentford pick it up, but Argyle are back in there, and they win the ball, but Brentford have it again. This has been non-stop energy from both sides at the moment, and the ball laid off to the left-hand side for Jensen. Jensen has the ball at his feet once again, allows it to run across his body, in step of the right boot, plays it to Jisoo, and Jisoo right-footed plays it to this near side for Roosevelt, and Roosevelt back for Jisoo once again, and then right-footed, a little triangles from Brentford, and they're just taking a little bit of the sting out of the game at the moment, because Argyle were playing with a bit of pace just a few moments ago, and a long ball from Brentford over the top through the inside left channel, well over hit, nobody going to get to that one, bounces through, and will be a goal kick to Argyle, who are showing plenty of energy. Yeah,
it's a chance for them to take a breath here. You can see that Brentford want to pen them in. That low sun's a real problem as well for Hazard. He's struggling a little bit with it in his eyes, and you can tell Brentford know what they're doing, having Argyle play that way with this sun, because I'm sure that it must have come up in previous games, because that is a concern.
Absolutely. Roberts on the ball, he just tries to stretch out a boot, but he loses the ball on the edge of the area. Shot comes in from the edge of the box. Hazard, fantastic save, leaping off to the right hand side, pushes it away. First chance of the game, and Hazard's equal to it.
Yeah, great save. And again, just literally after we were talking about the sun in his eyes, it didn't seem to affect him at all there. Did really well, but slightly concerned and was giving the ball away in turnover. Just shows you how quickly they can hurt you on the counter attack.
I like Hazard, I like what he does, he gives you a lot of energy, but from what I've seen, a little bit of inexperience in giving the ball away sometimes, and I guess that's what we saw. Corner then on the left hand side for Brentford. Plenty of players in and around the edge of the 6-yard box. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger then. No, it's not, it's going to be played short. Then back out to the left-hand side, once again fired into the near post, and Argyle will defend that, and Baidu will try and drag the ball away, but he can't maintain possession. It's picked up again by Yarmouk and plays it off to the left-hand side, and Henry has the ball now, plays it backwards, and once again Argyle putting the pressure on, and I think the new manager, he wants to play that high press, doesn't he? He's going to be really pleased with what he's seen in this opening few minutes.
Yeah, Argyle just having to try and contain Brentford when they're in possession, but shown plenty going forward already, and I've not seen the last 2 games for Argyle when they've got results, but that slightly tighter Whittaker and Wright in behind rather than out wide, it means that you've got a bit more presence on it, because if you play wide you just can't get a press on the ball, and sometimes you can find yourself out of the game. Exactly.
Free kick then for Brentford. It's 2/5 of the way inside the Argyle half. It's going to be free kick taken right-footed, a line of players along the edge of the penalty area, a few short as well, and we're just waiting for this to be taken. It's still Brentford nil, Argyle nil. Ball is taken to Macoma right-footed, lifts it up to the edge of the penalty area, cleared away by Argyle. Morgan Whittaker won't get to that, picked up by Brentford. They go backwards just to maintain possession, off to the left-hand side, and then they slide the ball through the lines, and it goes through to Yarmouk, and Yarmouk plays it off to the left-hand side, and then angled into the area. Brentford then trying to weed their way into the area, which they do, and the Brentford player goes down, appeals for a penalty from the home support, but Argyle clear the ball away, and the referee says nothing. And I have to say, just apologies to the people listening at home. The numbers on the back of the Brentford shirts, especially on the far side, are awful to read. I'm doing my best for you, I'll just point that out. The ball then with Van den Berg, plays it off to the left-hand side. And they pick it up again, and little triangles off to that left-hand side once again. That's on the far side of the field, and then they chip a right-footed ball into the area. Heads go up, it's going to drop for Barley Mumba, and Mumba does well, just gets under that right-footed, hacks it away up towards halfway, but it's not, well, it only gets halfway up the field. And Argyle with some defending to do, which they do, as Roslev tries to make some ground down that right-hand side, but Argyle shut the door, and it's going to be a corner kick then for Brentford on the right-hand side. Jensen to take this, spots it up with his right hand, and still bending over, and everyone moves into the penalty area. Actually, nearly everyone is in the penalty area. 2 Brentford players are outside the box at the moment. Jensen then to take this on the right-hand side. It's going to be an outswinger. Fires it into the near post, well defended at the near post by Argyle. They get it away to this near side, picked up again by Brentford, who swirl the ball into the area, and Argyle will get ahead on that. They also get a little bit of a lucky break. It came off a Brentford player, ran back towards Hazard, and Hazard will play it off to the right hand side where he finds Plegathelo down the line, and where he finds Sorinola, and Sorinola plays it back, and eventually it goes to the Argyle back line for Poulsen off to the right hand side for Plegathelo. Longer ball down the right hand side. Sorinola trying to break in behind the Brentford defence. He's putting them under heaps of pressure down there, and I don't think he's won a corner. He has given away he's given Brentford have a goal kick. This is what I'm trying to say. Remains Brentford nil, Argyle nil, but good work down that right-hand side. Sorinola, saw him at Oxford a couple of weeks ago, looked very impressive on that day. Arguably man of the match in what was a poor performance from Argyle. The ball then now, Macoma plays the ball forward for Shada. Shada though will turn and play the ball backwards for Ruslev, and Ruslev in field for Magoma right-footed, splays it across the field, slightly backwards of square, and Brentford looking to build down the left-hand side. They pick out Henry onto his right boot, plays it in field for Jensen back into the back line, and Brentford not really making much progress at the moment. Jisoo has it on halfway, out to this near side for Roslev back to Jisoo, and Jisoo right-footed will slur it more or less back to the centre spot. Brentford looking to find a little bit of room to penetrate the Argyle back line. They play it down that left-hand side, and it goes back again to the left back for Brentford and into the centre of the defence again. And Brentford at the moment just happy to maintain a bit of possession, trying to draw Argyle out, I guess, but Argyle aren't, they're pressing fairly hard. They're not being suckered out, and it's good possession though by Brentford, but they will play the ball down the left hand side, looking to get the cross in. Fantastic tackle over on that far side. Plegathuelo it was, got in, put the ball out. I think it's going to be another corner, but Brentford, you can see that there's a little bit of quality in the running off the ball and the understanding they have, but so far at the moment the Argyle backline are just on their toes. Yeah,
the danger is dropping deep. Yeah, it's just naturally you drop deeper and deeper because you want to be more defensive and more protective, but if anything that invites them onto you. So Argyle have got to try and keep that line high.
Corner then on the left hand side then for Brentford, which they take short. And then a little exchange, and then right-footed plays it into the area, shots for a shot. Another great save by Hazard at the near post. That was about 8 yards out, inside left channel. Swivel and turn and shot, and Hazard again with the save. And everyone just seems to be giving that extra 10% this afternoon.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to work out who that was. That Shad? Yeah, great turning shot from him, but good save from Hazard. 15-minute mark again. You look at it, first 20 minutes, can you get through it? They've taken a few short ones here though, so let's see if he's going to put one in.
Corner then on the left-hand side for Brentford, and again it's another short one, and they have these nice routines. Look, right-footed into the area once again, they dump it into the 6-yard box, and the referee says that will be a free kick as the ball drops out of the sky.
You think they might start sending two out for these short ones, because every single time they've gotten short from that far side, haven't they, Alan? Well,
yeah, and you would hope that the players would be switched on enough just to think of that for themselves, I guess.
Now, Brentford are known for clever set pieces.
Yes, there has been a bit of a variety. They played a short one, and it goes back to the corner kick taker who swung it in. We've also seen it play it short, and the corner kick taker overlaps and around the outside, and yeah, so there's plenty of variety out there at the moment from Brentford, but at the moment Argyle defensively have mopped up everything that there's been. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that.
Well, no, and I'm liking Hazard, just sending them out, don't invite pressure on, just try and get the ball at the pitch. The problem is Brentford have got big defenders, and they're generally winning that ball in the air, but at least Argyle can get some territory back.
Ball on the far side then for Brentford. They have the ball, they're playing it into their back line. Jisoo has the ball now, left-footed off to the right-hand side for Vandenberg, and Vandenberg goes all the way back to the keeper, and it comes out. Vandenberg once again on the ball, just driving forward under pressure from Baydun, but it comes into the middle now for Magoma, and Magoma right-footed plays it through, and it's flicked on first time, and the ball will run all the way through, and this is Sharda, and Sharda on the right-hand side of the penalty area plays it across the 18-yard box. It's nobody in a red shirt for Brentford though, managed to get on the end of that. Fortunately, it could have been a good position for the Bees, but as it is, Argyle getting away with it on that occasion as Brentford try to build once again. The ball play forward for Baydun, and Baydun lays the ball off, and as he does so, he's brought to ground. It's going to be a free kick for Argyle, and I would imagine they'll be quite pleased with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Shadi's turn of pace there was pretty incredible, wasn't it? I think Brendan Galloway's no slouch, but he just glided past him there. Again, those little just slide roll passes from them, just they can be patient. That's coming from the centre half, rolling him in as well, so danger all over the place for Argyle at the minute.
Poulsen with the free kick then for Argyle, spins it out to this near side. Can Barley Mumba get this down by the corner flag? He can, a little back hill, finds Callum Wright, good first touch into the near post, fires it across the 6-yard box, and Brentford will clear that away. That was really nice. Barley Mumba's having the game of his life at the moment. Little back hill, picked up by Callum Wright and drives into the area, plays it across the 6-yard box. Nobody able to get on the ball on this occasion. Argyle, though, have it once again. Back down the left-hand side, Bailey Mumber on the ball, looking to tease and play. Plays it infield for Callum Wright, finds Whittaker, lays it off for Roberts. Roberts, though, will have been nudged off the ball, and Roberts, from a almost lying down position, wins the ball back. The referee says that's going to be a free kick, but I like what Mumber and Wright are bringing to the side this afternoon.
Well, Wright's first touch there was absolutely exquisite. He just moves him into the space. It actually opened it up for that back stick, and you think if he's... Problem is, those keepers, the size of the Premier League keepers, you got to do a lot to bend it around them to get it into the back stick. But again, Callum Wright doing everything right and asking a save of the keeper. You can't ask for any more than that, because next one might fall to Beidou, who's a simple tap in. So good stuff from Argyle.
And Brentford breaking down the left-hand side at the moment. They play it off to the left-hand side and they try to get the cross in again. Defensively, Argyle on top of things and keeping Brentford at bay, but it is another corner, and all the time you get corners, at some point somebody might switch off, so have to be on your toes for this.
It's the speed of the transition, Alan, from back to front.
Yeah.
They're down the other end of the pitch within 5 seconds, you know, so it's really difficult to stop that sort of speed. So Argyle doing well to defend it at the minute.
Yarmouth to take the corner kick on the left-hand side for the Brentford 0, Argyle 0. The scoreline is still, it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. It is into the box this time. Great header by
Brendan Galloway.
Yeah, Galloway, that was. Cleared the ball away, and then it comes back from Brentford, and Morgan Whittaker's there and does just enough to, he doesn't get a touch on the ball as it goes across the 6-yard box and out the other side, but it's enough to put the Brentford player off at the far post, and it drops into touch for a goal kick. But yeah, Brendan Galloway, brilliant. And the defenders, they've all just been amazing this afternoon.
Yeah, they're mobile, aren't they, though? Those three, there's no one getting caught out. I mean, but you just look at the press from Brentford here. Let's see how Argyle can play out this time.
Well, they're certainly going to have a go, and Hazard has it on his left boot, just inside the 6-yard box, plays it long upfield, looking for Callum Wright. It will drop, and Roberts sticks a boot out, wins the ball back, and it comes back to Roberts once again, tries to drive upfield, put under a lot of pressure, but manages to maintain possession. Finds Randall, centre field, plays it with the outside the right boot, off to the right hand side for Plegathuelo, and then further off to the right hand side for Sorinola. And this is good from Argyle, and they're just a little wayward pass, and elsewhere it's Exeter City 1, Oxford 1 at the moment, and the ball now is with Brentford through the inside right channel. Yarmouth has the ball, little triangles. Paris Magoma comes forward a few strides and then plays it with the right boot infield, and Brentford again looking to build down the left-hand side. Henry has the ball, plays it further off to that left-hand side, and then they fire the ball into the area and it bounces across the 6-yard box. Dangerous ball, but fortunately for Argyle, nothing coming to that one. Nobody attacking it. You could see where, if they keep playing those balls in, one of the Brentford strikers is going to think, I need to go a little bit shorter, and maybe they could get across that. But we don't want them thinking.
No, they're having to force it. That's a really difficult ball in. I know even Jensen with his ability, but it's a difficult ball to get onto. So there's no real easy passes on. Argyle, defending well. I mean, that's a tough one though. This is the problem. You can't invite them onto you in your own third repeatedly without suffering some consequences.
Throw on the far side then for Brentford. I think the Argyle fans thought that should have been their throw, but it's with Brentford now on the far side. Henry has it, he lays the ball off, and a little pull and a tussle there on that far side. It's going to be a free kick for Brentford, which they don't really take. It's kicked straight at Sorinola. It was just silly, and they weren't going to move a full Brentford, and the Argyle fans not very happy, and the referee going over to have a word with the Brentford player as well. So it's all just got a bit silly over there. Maybe a bit of frustration from the Brentford team. Maybe they'd expect to be a few up at the moment, but certainly they're not. And that was Damsgaard on that far side. The ball there with Brentford once again. Roslev on this near side for them, and they plays it in for Magoma. Magoma will lay the ball off for Vanderberg, and Vanderberg plays it out to that left-hand side for Damsgaard, and it just goes over his head now. And the Argyle fans in the sunshine, I have to say, or most some of them anyway, to my right-hand side, I think are enjoying their afternoon so far. And I was talking to some of the Argyle fans you probably heard beforehand, going, if we can keep it down to single figures, well, I think they'll be very happy with what they've seen. And
we can hope for more than that, surely, Alan.
Well, you know my stats. five times they've met Brentford, and they've never been knocked out the FA Cup by them. And of course, unbeaten this season. Baidoo putting pressure on the Brentford back line, but they get it back to the goalkeeper, play it off to the left-hand side, then a longer ball chipped over the top, and they're just going to roll into touch, and we'll take that all day long. What do you think Brentford are thinking there in terms of these longer balls over the top, because they're not really working?
Well, even the pass there from Jensen, a simple clip out to the left, and he misplaced that, but here, this is the danger.
Yep, the ball with Roberts, just steps over the ball, square the hips, he's going to lose possession as he doesn't manage to get it away to Randall. Randall feeds it back to Roberts down the middle, tries to find Baidoo, that's just going to elude the new Argyle striker, and it's played all the way back to the Brentford goalkeeper, who lays it off to the left hand side for Van der Berg, and Van der Berg will come forward now, rolls at the sole of his boot, then the instep, plays it forward into the midfield, and then it will be played for Henry down the left hand side on halfway infield, where he'll find Jensen will turn and play the ball backwards, and Argyle once again pressing high when they need to. It's nice to see Callum Wright's just feeding out to the left hand side. Baidoo's doing his job too. Clearance upfield by the goalkeeper is fairly flat. Randall won't quite get to that one. Damsgaard will though for Brentford, and it's played off to this near side for Roslev, and Roslev will play the ball forward, but little triangles from Brentford, but they're not really going anywhere. It's nice to see at the moment. The ball then played into the middle, and then off to the right hand side. Magoma has it, tickles it forward with the outside of the right foot, and then scoops it with the instep down the right hand side for Sharda, and Sharda controls it nicely, but the ball will roll into touch, and it's going to be, that's Carvalho actually, Carvalho, who had the two shots that pulled some great saves from Hazard early in the game, and ball going to touch on this near side. It's going to be a throw in for Brentford once they decide out who's going to take it. It's not going to be Damsgaard.
I think it's Jensen again.
I think it's Jensen again. Jensen then coming across. The referee just putting the shaving foam down. Yeah, Jensen on the ball. He's given a free kick, in fact, so it's going to be a free kick, nowhere near where the shaving foam is, and Jensen now comes back and gets the ball, spots it up on the right hand side. It's going to be an outswinger. Argyle with some more defending to do then. Well, they've done it so well so far, and lots of players lined up along the edge of the 6-yard box. So Jensen then to take this one, backs away 2, 3, 4 steps, looks across the penalty area, comes up now, right footed, drives it into the near post. Argyle will get that away. It bounces over the head of Rico Henry. Baidoo just chases him down, and in the end Henry from just inside the Argyle half has to force it all the way back to his goalkeeper, who's come out the penalty area, centre field, rolls it with the sole of his boot a couple of times, then gets a little angle, right footed, will fire it down this near side, header on to this right hand side from Sharda, and it goes into touch. It's going to be a throw in then for Argyle. Barley Mumba picks up the ball, green shirt of course, white shorts, white stockings with white toppings this afternoon for Argyle. Obviously Brentford in their usual red and white stripes and black shorts, black stockings, and the ball is with Brentford momentarily. Callum Wright though does well just to drive away the ball forward by Roslev, and it goes backwards now just like for Jisun, and Jisun plays it off for Van den Berg, and Baidoo is running and chasing now, but he won't win the ball. But Argyle are just putting enough pressure on to make the passes a little bit shaky from Brentford, but they are maintaining possession, and now they sweep it out to the left hand side for Henry. Henry plays it backwards for Magoma, and Magoma has the ball, and he's under pressure now from Morgan Whittaker. Plays it down the left hand side, right footed ball into the area. It's going to go away for Argyle. They clear it away. Magoma has the ball on the left hand side now, looking to find a little more luck down that left hand side. Henry has the ball, plays it infield, gets the ball back, and then it goes back for Magoma, and Magoma right footed will play it into the centre of defence for Brentford, who play it off to the right hand side. First time ball from Damsgaard down the right hand side. Sharda's there, little back heel, nearly put Sharda in, but Argyle get toes and feet and knees in the way, and they manage to squeeze it away down the left hand side, and they find Barley Mumba again, once again twisting and turning, but on this occasion just overruns the ball, and it will run into touch. It's going to be a throw in taken quickly for Yamaluk, and Yamaluk now will try and turn away from 2 green shirts on the edge of the area, and he does so. He finds Jisoo, and Jisoo will play it across the pitch and backwards of square, and Brentford now through Magoma then trying to get up to the edge of the penalty area, drives his way past one Argyle challenge, but then Roberts, who's having a good game, Sorinola will just bring the ball away, and he'll find Morgan Whittaker, and Whittaker will play it to the inside left channel where he'll find Callum Wright, and Callum Wright plays it backwards, but it's won by Brentford, and Brentford will play it into the near post, and it just rolls all the way through, and Hazard's there to collect at the near post. Hairy moments just for a little bit there for Argyle, but nothing too serious, and they managed to clear the ball up and take it away to the right hand side, and it's now Poulsen on the ball, and he turns under pressure, plays it back for Hazard, back into the centre of the midfield, and the little triangles now bring the ball to the near side for Barley Mumba into the midfield, and Roberts will have to get to this one. He does well just to speed his stride up and whip the ball away and keep possession for Argyle, and it's in with Roberts again in the midfield now. Morgan Whittaker on the ball, left-footed, plays it out to the right-hand side, sensible, comfortable ball. Sorinola plays it for Baidu's there, level with the edge of the penalty area, back to Sorinola, plays it backwards for Morgan Whittaker once again. Time for Argyle to have a little bit of possession. Galloway on the ball, left-footed, stabs it to the near side for Barley Mumba. Mumba tries to play the ball in round the back of the Brentford defence. It comes back to him though, and Galloway has the ball, and the Argyle fans away to my right hand side giving every pass a cheer. It's Brazilian time here from Argyle at the moment. The ball though will now come to Brentford, who roll it into the midfield, and Argyle, they play the ball forward, and Sharda can't get to that one. Argyle have the ball, and it's a wayward effort there from Randall, and it goes into touch on this near side, but Argyle are giving a little bit of a touch of the ball, and I guess that's good to know and good to see. It means Brentford are doing the chasing and not so much Argyle.
Absolutely, and we just want to make sure it's in the right areas of the pitch. Ballymumba's caught the ball a couple of times in his own third. That's the stuff we've got to cut out, but Argyle enjoying it, getting a touch, a bit of possession, and still, most importantly, in the game.
Henry on the ball, down the left-hand side, drives over halfway, lays it off to the left-hand side for Damsgaard, back in field, and then the ball right-footed, angled into the area. 2 Argyle players go up for it, and the ball will bounce through, and they must have got a head on that because it's gone through. It's going to be a corner to Brentford on the right hand side. Brentford kicking left to right in this first half, Argyle kicking from right to left, and a bit more defending for Argyle to do, but it remains Brentford nil, Argyle nil. By no means have Argyle been overawed in this game, by no means are they being outplayed or outfought. They're doing all that they need to do exactly as they should do it. Defensively, they've been strong. They pressed well. Would like to see a few more moments in the opposition half, but at the moment it's a corner. Jensen to take this then for Brentford. Right footed into the near post. Cleared away by Argyle. Referee gives a free kick. How pleased will Argyle, Kevin Nanscoville, be at this point in time? And what would the manager be thinking, the new guy be thinking?
Well, the thing I'm enjoying is Nancy's on the touchline speaking to the players, and they've got a smile on their face, so they're enjoying it, and it's a really good opportunity for them to pit the wits against a cracking side. Importantly as well, see how the sun has gone, so from over that stand on our left hand side is now blocking, so Hazard doesn't have that in his eyes, which relieves me a little bit.
Barley Mumba then right-footed will play a longer ball forward. It's half cleared by Brentford. They played off to the right-hand side. Jisoo couldn't keep the ball in. Throw into Argyle, halfway inside the Bees half. It comes back to Barley Mumba, who plays it backwards to square to Poulsen. Poulsen drags it with the sole of his boot, then turns and plays it back to Galloway. Galloway left-footed then will clip the ball forward, looking for Callum Wright. Goes over his head, and Brentford will play that all the way back to the keeper. Baidu is just trying to shut him down, put a little bit of pressure on, but Van der Berg comes forward now and stands on the ball, right-footed. He just comes in field and looking for a pass, and he finds Jisoo, and Jisoo dummies to play it forward, then knocks it into the midfield for Magoma, and Magoma off to the left-hand side for Van den Berg, and Van den Berg again out to that left hand side for Damsgaard. Damsgaard has Henry a little bit ahead of him, and Argyle, well, they've drawn in there, and now Henry's away down the left hand side, tries to drag it back to the edge of the area. Once again though, Argyle defensively doing incredibly well, blocking up all the spaces, and now they try to bring the ball away. A galloping run upfield from Randall. He's brought to ground, and that was good work, I think, by Randall. Just carried the ball away, took the play upfield, and then I don't know whether he bought a free kick, but he certainly was given one.
Well, Plymouth, he was all in on that tackle, wasn't he? He looked at quite a bit of a reckless one on the far side, and it was what Brentford got in on. So Adam Randall's position at that near post, just to block the cut back, and then also just to carry the ball out. He's, great leadership from him.
Ball upfield, Callum Wright won't get to that. It's cleared away by Henry up towards halfway. Randall will control it on the chest, and with the outside of his right boot, flick it over the top of the Brentford player, collect it on the other side. Now it goes out to the right hand side for Sorinola, and Sorinola tries to get the cross in. It's blocked. It goes out of play. We'll take that. Throw in on the far side, the Argyle right, and it's taken quickly. Goes into the back line, picked up now by Paulson. Paulson just has time to collect it, come forward a few strides, plays it off to the left-hand side for Galloway. Galloway further forward now for Mumba. Mumba back to Galloway, and Galloway will play that into the back line, and under pressure, Argyle will play that back to Hazard, and Hazard calmly plays it left-footed into the centre of the midfield, but Argyle nearly getting caught out there, but sensibly in the end they just play the ball as far up the field as they can, which almost reaches halfway, but it's now picked up once again by Damsgaard off to the left-hand side, and it's Brentford trying to use their pace, their speed and their guile and their know-how to get in behind the Argyle defence, but there's plenty of pace, speed and know-how in that Argyle back line this afternoon, and they're enjoying their FA Cup outing at the moment, and they managed to do enough just to throw that off. Pegathuelo it was, and it's going to be a goal kick to Argyle, and they're going to play this short again. Sharda is there to put pressure on, should it go into Randall on the edge of the area. Don't do this, please. Hazard, just clear it along for me. Don't do this. He can't hear me, but I don't.
I think he did hear you, Alan. There you go.
Yeah, they're moving upfield. It's just, no, don't do that. There's no point in throwing this away at this point, is there? Hazard then plays the ball right-footed up towards halfway. It's helped on its way by Sorinola, but Brentford will pick it up once again on that left-hand side. Damsgaard gets it onto his right foot, plays a long ball diagonally across the field, and Barley Mumba's going to have some work to do. Mumba does really well. He's having a game and a half at the moment. Plays it with the outside the right boot, finds Roberts. Roberts left-footed will play that forward for Beidou. Beidou, though, just muscled out of that momentarily. And then Ruslev tries to play the ball infield, and Barley Mumba, that's a cheeky little ball across the field, and it was had a bit of a danger there. I think Martin Gritton had a bit of a as he did so, but Argyle maintained possession. It goes down the right hand side. Sorinola will play it further out to the right hand side. It's going to be a free kick to Argyle. Morgan Whittaker brought to ground inside right channel, and they take the free kick quickly and they launch it out to this near side where it's a little leap by Barley Mumba, just keeps the ball in play. Great running beyond him from Callum Wright, and Wright will get to the dead ball line, and he can't get past his man, but it will be a corner for Argyle. 36 minutes on the clock. Brentford 0, Argyle 0.
Good bit of play. Good bit of play from Argyle again, and it all stemmed from just the calmness on the ball, isn't it? Even on the right hand side when we're talking about that little clip ball in, Whittaker just took the sting out of it. Argyle really settling into this game a little bit, and Brentford's looking frustrated. They can hurt Argyle at, with just the flick of a switch, but at the same time Argyle beginning to make inroads, and great opportunity here.
Sorinola to take this corner. They're playing with a bit of freedom, I think. Sorinola with the corner then, right-footed into the near post, and the header at that near post just goes into touch, so it's going to be a goal kick for Brentford. But the fact that there was a Paulson with the header at the near post, it went wide of the target, and would have gone over even if it had been on target, I guess. Magoma on the ball, twists and plays the ball out to the right-hand side. And Brentford building once again. Jisoo has the ball, plays it across to Van den Berg. Van den Berg right-footed will stab it with the instep out to that left-hand side for Damsgaard. Damsgaard plays it down the line, finds Henry, and Henry will try and cut in field and then plays it for Jensen, I think that is. Jensen on the far side. then right-footed will stab it down the line. Damsgaard once again trying to get past Morgan Whittaker. Whittaker doesn't dive in, sensible defending, he just holds the player up, and then the Brentford have to go backwards just a little bit. They're halfway inside the Argyle half, and any pace that they might have been looking to break with during that little period of play has now gone. Magoma has the ball, and then it's clipped over the top down the left-hand side. Is it going to run out? It does. Not so clever, not so from Brentford, but I think you're right what you were saying about the transition of play between one end to the other. When we let Brentford do that, they are so quick, but Argyle, they're kind of filling up all the spaces, and then they're, generally speaking, they're stopping Brentford from using that pace and that knowledge and that skill and the running off the ball.
Well, the issue is when Argyle are out of shape, and it's when you're getting hit on that counter-attack, because your players are out of position and the spaces are much bigger, and it's a lot easier for Brentford to get in behind. But in this setup, where when Argyle can get back in, I mean, this defence, it's almost like a flat back five at times, where Mumba and Soranolo tuck in, and they're all athletic, they're all quick enough to be able to get to the ball and shut down those spaces. So good stuff.
Exeter 2, Oxford 1 elsewhere, and whilst it's only goalless here at the GTEC Stadium, Brentford 0, Argyle 0. At the moment, that's not a bad result either, although Brentford now breaking down the left-hand side. They're going to be looking to get the cross in. Great defending. Soranola comes across, chased his man back. The ball gets played into the middle. Well, it didn't even get to the middle. Soranola sliding in, gets the block in, and it's interesting actually. I think most of Brentford's little breaks have been down that left-hand side, but so far Argyle have been up to all of them. Yeah, no,
they've managed to snuff out those attacks, and also it's quite demoralising, because every time Brentford must think, I'll be able to get this one, I'll be able to get this one in, and they're getting blocks. I know that they're getting corners and set pieces, which they're dangerous from, but it's really frustrating as a player not to be able to get your shot or your cross away.
Corner then on the left-hand side for Brentford. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. Here it comes, right-footed then to the near post, and it's cleared away once again by Argyle, but it's going to be picked up on the left-hand side by Brentford, who play it for Magoma. Magoma, right-footed, will lay the ball off, and then they're going for a little 1-2, but Argyle again should be able to clear this away through Whittaker. Whittaker tries to play it upfield to Baidoo. Baidoo won't get to that, nowhere near it, goes into touch. I guess that the issue we've got at the moment, Baidoo's up there ploughing a lone furrow at the moment, and we don't really want anyone else up there. It would help perhaps to relieve the defence if we had another player, but we don't really want to upset what we're doing at the moment.
No, and the issue is in these games you're not going to get many opportunities. The problem is he's probably had one of his best opportunities already, and that's the thing. And it sometimes comes too early, and it's frustrating because he's not going to be in it's not going to be one of those games where it's going to be pinging into him and he's going to get loads of chances.
Long ball then from left to right for Brentford. Barley Mumba reaches out a foot to intercept it, played into the centre of defence. Argyle will clear that down the left-hand side. Callum Wright tries to get on the end of it, reaches out a boot, but it's picked up now by Magoma. Paris Magoma outside the right boot, tries to play the ball down. Barley Mumba picks it up, drags it across the sea, penalty area for a couple of yards, and Argyle will clear it up. Jisoo though picks it up on the halfway then for Brentford. It's played down the line. Sharda there tries to play it into the middle for Roslev, who's made the underlap, and Roslev will maintain possession. Sharda though into the middle again. Argyle through Poulsen will just stick out a boot and clear it upfield, and the first touch from Van der Berg is not a good one. It goes backwards of square, and Jisoo has to go backwards, collect the ball, plays it off to the left hand side, finds Van der Berg to Jisoo, and Jisoo now collects it and plays it off down the right hand side for Roslev, and Roslev is under pressure from Callum Wright, plays it infield for Magoma plays it into the middle once again, and Brentford spreading the play out to the left hand side, just testing and teasing the Argyle back line. Sorinola's over there though, trying to get the ball for Argyle. So is Pleguezuelo sticks out a boot. Well, I thought he brought the Brentford player down there just for a moment, but I don't think the referee says that's the case.
Great tackle, Pleguezuelo again. When he gets it right, it's good, because he does put his body into it and leaves a little bit on it, doesn't he, for the Brentford players. So again, they've probably not got a great appetite for going down that side, because they're getting met with solid tackles each time. But again, good defender from Argyle, and you can see the frustration starting to creep in.
Argyle have the ball, and the first touch is not the best, and it's played off to this near side by Brentford coming forward. Roslev on the ball, little exchange of passes, and back to Roslev. He has to turn and play the ball backwards for Magoma, and Magoma has the ball, then plays it into the back line, back for Magoma's inside right channel, halfway inside the Argyle half, comes forward a couple of yards, right footed, throws it in, well, tries to play it in behind the Argyle back line. Callum Wright was there doing his right backy duties, if that's the thing, and it wasn't read by Brentford, and the ball goes out of play. Goal kick for Brentford, goal kick for Argyle. It's Brentford 0, Argyle 0.
Good discipline there, and good shape from the midfielders. You see Adam Rando and Roberts there, just little hand taps saying well done, good job, because they're close enough together to be able to kind of deal with those little passes through, and then forcing Brentford to have to push a ball down a channel that they're maybe not ready for and win back possession.
Argyle trying to come forward once again, but Beidou won't get to that. Comfortable for Brentford. He's a bit outnumbered, but he'll know he's been in the game this afternoon. He will be quite exhausted, I would think. Brentford then come forward once again through the inside right channel for Jisoo, and Jisoo plays it to Magoma, and Magoma under pressure from Roberts, plays it all the way back. Quite like Roberts. I've seen him make a few rookie mistakes in a few games, but he's done all right this afternoon. I think you can see what he's about.
Well, I also like Wright's having a real impact in this game, and getting to see his qualities, because unfortunately for some of the games I've covered this season, Argyle have just had their backs against the wall the whole time. They're not been able to play with any sort of freedom or creativity, and I've seen that from him today.
I've always liked him, especially going forward.
Yeah.
Ball then with Brentford down the left hand side once again. Damsgaard on the ball, tries to drive down that line. Argyle get a toe in, but it's picked up again by Brentford on the left hand side. They play it down the line. Damsgaard it is again, tries to drop the shoulder and come in field, and then right footed will lift it across the penalty area and knock back into the middle, and again Galloway's there to hack the ball away from the edge of the 6-yard box. It's coming in, but Argyle at the moment are up to everything. The ball then, Magoma on the ball, turns and plays it off to the left hand side for Henry. Henry then has runners ahead of him if he wants to, but decides to go backwards in the end. Magoma on the ball. Magoma drags it with the outside of the right boot, and then it's facing more towards his own goal now, and then it's Damsgaard into the middle. Barley Mumba's there, he hacks the ball away, and he actually finds Morgan Whittaker, and Whittaker tries to drive the ball upfield from inside his own half. It finds Roberts. Roberts tries to play it off to Barley Mumba, and Mumba won't get there, and the shot comes in, and as Martin Gritton just said, the shot from the edge of the area, and once again Galloway's there blocking the shot, and it comes away for another throw on the right hand side for Brentford. You've got to say Brentford are having the better of the play, but it's two chances from Carvalho that have been pulled, excellent saves from Hazard, but aside from that, they're not pulling Argyle apart at will at the moment. Jensen then with this throw in on the right hand side, back to Jensen, and then the ball curled into the middle. Argyle once again clear it to the edge of the area. Henry's there, gets the shot away. Too many bodies between the man and the goal, and it's cleared away.
Only a minute added on, thankfully. That was
Well, do you know, I didn't even notice. I didn't even realise we'd reached half-time. It just has flown past. It's been thoroughly entertaining. Argyle have been really good in this first half. They stuck to their task, pressed high when they can. Defensively, very, very strong. Two great saves from Hazard. As you say, Brentford might be a little bit frustrated, but you know, that flew past. I didn't even realise that it was half-time.
Well, we're watching the players are just coming past us now, and it's great to see so many smiles on their faces. You know, we're not seeing the Argyle players go past gasping for breath or looking absolutely strung out. The players are coming off like chatting away to each other, saying each other good job. Defensively been really organised. I've really enjoyed the energy from the defenders, and being able to kind of go from back to front. Obviously we've not seen as much as we'd like to of Whittaker, and Beidou's got a really impossible task today, so maybe it will just come in flashes for him. Maybe it will just be one or two opportunities, but again, Wright been brilliant on the left hand side, and as you've said, Ballymumba having an absolute storming game on the left hand side here.
I wouldn't want to upset what they've done so far, but you would want someone to get a little closer to Beidou. Mike Whittaker might be that guy, because just sort of relieve him a little bit of his defensive duty and say, just get a bit closer to Beidou, and maybe we can build through that, or even build through the thirds via Whittaker.
Yeah, well, they're shooting towards the Argyle fans this half, so
they've suck it in.
Exactly, and it really does add to it. And I think that it's now you want to get in these games, you want to keep it tight, and you certainly don't want to concede. But you know that it'll only come down to 1 or 2 moments. But you'll start to get a sense of let's risk a little bit more at it. It's a cup game. We're here to throw, we're here to show what we can do. So I know that Whittaker's, you can tell that he's just really wants to stretch his legs and take on the defenders, because he's more than a match for them.
Yeah.
It's just the ball has to be right. He's got to be in the right part of the pitch. He's got to have players to play off. So that's hopefully where he can link up with Beidou. But these guys haven't played together before, really. So there's a lot of firsts today. But what we're seeing from Argyle has been a really good discipline, a spirited display, and perhaps, shall we say it, a nice distraction from the league.
And it's a much improved on what we've seen so far at times this season. The players in there must be buzzing. How do you keep that? Is it a question of keeping their feet on the ground?
No, I think they just you want players to be chatty and buzzy, and that's what we're seeing from them today. And and there is there's optimism again. We'll point to the fact we've got the new manager sat not far behind us, and just the excitement around him being here and what that poses for the club. And hey, it's any appointment was going to be a risk right now, but positivity is what Argyle need, and the players need something to believe in, and collectively and for the fans. So really excited for that, but I'm really excited for the second half.
I'm excited for the second. It's been a really good first half from Argyle. 2 saves that Hansard had to make from Carvalho. That side hasn't been an enormous number of chances. Beidou nearly got in early in the half, but Argyle playing fantastic this afternoon. It's really exciting to watch. Great competition, of course, and Argyle holding their own, more than holding their own at the moment against a Premier League side who, let's face it, put 5 past Southampton last week, although plenty of people seem to do that at the moment. But Argyle, they're in the dressing room at the moment. I guess the manager will be just trying to reiterate what to do. But at the moment, half-time at the GKEX Stadium, it's a creditable Brentford 0, Argyle 0.
Happy 52nd birthday to Tom Lloyd, love from all your
Spot
family
on.
and friends.
Nice.
Welcome to the GTEC to Sky Wills for our first men's first team game.
I can't see I couldn't see the numbers on the shirts.
I know, I can't either. Far side, it's really tough. Just having to go off knowing the player, trying to work it out.
Uncle Devon, Auntie Helen, and of course Anna. Happy 4th birthday to Isaac Miles, love from all your family and friends. And talking about family and friends, love from all your
Standing
family
up.
and friends to Tony
Sorry?
Johnson. And that's a happy
Just standing up.
I would also like to wish Freddie Harris all the best from Dad, Mum, Elfie and Grandad at his first ever Brentford match, and hopefully he becomes a regular.
Sorry?
Do you want a tea or a coffee?
Oh, I'd love it.
Vickery.
BBC Radio Devon, we're at half-time then on a really big afternoon of cup action for a number of our sides, and Torquay in action in the league as well. So half-time then in the FA Cup third round. Let's get a half-time report from what's going on here in West London then. Brentford against Plymouth Argyle. Argyle really giving a good show of themselves this afternoon here against Premier League opposition. Let's get a half-time report from Alan Seabrook.
Yeah, absolutely, James. It's Brentford 0, Argyle 0. What a good performance. It's so much improved on what we've seen of late. The new manager being in the stand, maybe that's given everyone an extra 10%, but the players have done brilliantly defensively. Going forward, we haven't seen so much. Hazard in goal, 2 really good stops from Carvalho. Beidou, well, he's worked his socks off up front, but he really hasn't had a lot to feed on, although he nearly got in the opening moments of the game. Ball just running away from him, but some great combinations as well. Barley Mumba, Callum Wright down the left-hand side, open things up, and on the right-hand side, Brentford seem to be trying to build down the left all the time, and Plegathuelo, the likes of Plegathuelo, Sorinola, they're just not letting them have any room. The amount of crosses that they've blocked, a lot of corners for Brentford. Argyle have just been so stoic, they've defended them all. Well worth their half-time scoreline here at a Premier League ground against the Premier League side. Brentford 0, Argyle 0.
Yeah, really good showing from Argyle, and the roar at half-time from the away fans who are diagonally opposite here at the G-Tech Stadium was just incredible. A real moment. They're right behind their side this afternoon, trying to get them over the line and into round 4 of the FA Cup. So we're sort of halfway towards a little bit of a cup set here, if you like, and maybe extra time and penalties, who knows. But Exeter City will find out whether or not we can have and find out what's going on then at St James Park this afternoon for Exeter City. An interesting match for them then this afternoon at home against Oxford United. Oxford United, who went ahead in that match at St James Park, who find themselves now trailing to Exeter City. I think there might just be a little button we need to press in the studio there. The button with A on it, so Seth can hear what's going on right now. Exeter City 2, Oxford United 1. We could have a shock on the cards at St James Park. Let's get a half-time report from Seth Conway.
Forest 1, Luton 0, Reading 0, Burnley 0, Sunderland 0, Stoke City 1. Here at half-time at St James Park, it's Exeter City 2, Oxford United 1. Exeter have come from behind in this game to lead at the break, and it's a deserved lead at that. Oxford, though, did take the lead on 14 minutes. It was a counter-attack from an Exeter City corner. Dembele, running almost the full length of the field, was able to find Scarlett, whose first-time ball from the right picked out Phillips in the centre of the penalty area, who was able to beat Whitworth. But from that moment, Exeter began to boss the game in the midfield with Richards and Woods running things, and Caleb Watts was able to find a clear bit of space on 22 minutes to drive towards the penalty area. And as Harper's ball came across the penalty area, there was Dimitri Mitchell with an acrobatic shot with his left foot to beat Ingram in the Oxford goal. There was only going to be one side then that was going to take the lead in this game. That was going to be Exeter, and it came on 40 minutes. Again, Watts burst forward from the midfield, tried to pick out Harper on this occasion, but as the ball fell into the middle of the penalty area, there was Mitchell, who buried it beyond Ingram for his 4th goal in 3 consecutive games here at St James Park. Good news then in the Cup. It's Exeter 2, Oxford 1.
Yeah, brilliant scoreline coming in from St James Park. Then City have managed to turn it around there in that game this afternoon on BBC Radio Devon Sports. So let's just run down and find out what's going on then in the FA Cup before we head off to Torquay in a moment or two. So the 3 o'clock games in the FA Cup third round this afternoon, and there aren't too many of them, to be honest with you. Chelsea 1, Morecambe 0 at half-time. Exeter City 2, Oxford United 1, as we know. Brentford 0, Plymouth Argyle 0. Argyle giving a really good account of themselves this afternoon. Norwich 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Nottingham Forest 1, Luton Town 0. Reading against Burnley is goalless, and Stoke City are 1-0 up away against Sunderland right now. So that's what's going on in the third round of the FA Cup this afternoon. And a reminder that Devon's teams are doing it for Devon this afternoon. Really good showing from Plymouth Argyle in the 0-0 situation we are right here at the G-Tech Stadium this afternoon in West London. And Exeter City 2-1 up at home against Oxford United. Dimitri Mitchell with 2 goals after Oxford had put themselves ahead at SJP this afternoon. Back with our second half commentaries on those games in a moment. Let's go to Plainmoor next in the National League. Torquay United top of the table, hoping to stay there. Torquay United against Welling. Half-time report from Paul Mulhern.
Well, James, as you know, around these parts we don't really care about these minor trophies like the FA Cup, so Torquay United also doing it for Devon in the National League South, and it's nothing to do with losing 3-0 to Bishop's Cleeve early in the season. This one's been a decent game. It's been a good first half for Torquay. Jordan Young has been instrumental in most things, some good, some average, and some pretty poor, to be perfectly honest, but it's basically his pass that's led to the opening goal for Torquay after just 3 minutes. There was a controversial moment after just 48 seconds, James, as myself and my colleague Sam felt that Statham for Welling should have been sent off. Jordan Young nicked the ball off him 25 yards from goal, driving through on the edge of the box, clearly pulled back, then a little kick into his feet. The referee didn't do anything, and the whole of Torquay fuming a red card wasn't shown for no attempt to play the ball and denying a goal scoring opportunity. However, just 2 minutes later, a soft free kick from a similar position, seeing Jordan Young's left foot cross it into the far post. Jordan Dyer got up and from about 5-6 yards headed United in front. 14 minutes gone, another great shot from Sam Dreyer coming up from the back, done a little step over on the edge of the box. His left foot shot was saved by the keeper, and then after 20 minutes another chance for Jordan Young on the left edge of the box, but he got a little bit hasty and fired well over. However, 10 minutes before the break was the moment that frustrated most of the Torquay fans. Jordan Young getting down the right hand side, the ball over their left back ex-Galchiori Johnson. Young got in behind him, drove into the box. Cody Cook pulled off his man standing in the 6-yard line completely unmarked. All Young had to do was pass it to him and Cook would tap it in. Young tried to beat the keeper at the near post and Torquay United got a corner. Cody Cook's response to that I don't think we could broadcast. 2 minutes into the additional time, another header from Cook from 6 yard almost put Torquay United 2 up. From a Welling perspective, James, they've offered absolutely nothing at all up front, and the only moments they've had are 2 yellow cards. 29 minutes, Kennedy picked up one for a foul on Will Jenkins-Davis, and 4 minutes before the break, Walker picked up one for a pullback on the same man. But half time here at Plainmoor, as Torquay United look to stay at the top of the league, is Torquay United 1, Welling 0.
Thank you, Paul Mulhern at Plainmoor, BBC Radio Devon Sport. So far so good for our football sides. National League South scores: Averley 1, Chesham United 0 at half-time. Eastbourne Borough 0, Truro City 0. Hemel Hempstead Town 1, Slough Town 0. Maidstone United 1, Enfield Town 0. Tonbridge Angels 0, Chippenham Town 1. Weston-super-Mare against St Albans City is goalless, and it's Weymouth 1, Dorking Wanderers 2 at half-time. We're also in South Devon today, just down the road from Torquay, of course. We're at Brixham against Clevedon. Let's get a half-time report on that one from Peter Smith.
Half-time, Brixham 0, Clevedon Town 1. Brixham forced a corner within the first 20 seconds and were all over Clevedon in the first 5 minutes. But thereafter, the visitors' passing game put Brixham under pressure and they went ahead on 23 minutes. Ryan Beattie tripping Henry Westlake in the box. Alex Cam tucking the spot kick away. Brixham almost immediately equalised. Rhys Summers' header was cleared off the line, but it's Clevedon that kept on pressing. Marko Radovanovic making good saves from Lucas Val's point blank and Sid Camper's diving header. Brixham behind him will need to get to grip with Clevedon's passing game if they have any chance of winning this and retaking second place in this league from them. Brixham 0, Clevedon Town 1.
Thank you very much, Peter Smith. That's what's happening in our non-league football. Let's go to the rugby then this afternoon. 3:15 kickoff. Exeter Chiefs at home against Bordeaux in the European Champions Cup. Let's just nip into the commentary, find out what's going on there with Nigel Orrand and John Lockyer.
Just 2 minutes to go to the break here at Sandy Park. Exeter Chiefs 5, Bordeaux Begler 26, and Chiefs made a great start with a length of the field run by Paul Brown Bampo, getting them a shock try after 8 minutes, but since then it's been all Bordeaux Begler and showing some real international quality. They're two French international wingers, Damien Penaud and Louis Biel-Biarré, who came on as a replacement, have both got tries. Maxime Lucu, their French international scrum half and skipper, has also got a couple, and Mathieu Jalabert, the French international fly half, has converted 3 of the tries. So they've already got the bonus point in the bag, and every time they have ball in hand they're looking hugely dangerous here, Bordeaux. But just before the break, Exeter 5, Bordeaux 26. Chiefs have possession inside their own half.
For the Exeter Chiefs then this afternoon, and coverage of that continues county-wide on 103.4 FM. Right, let's take you back then to your second half commentaries this afternoon. We're just about to get back underway here at the G-Tech Stadium between Plymouth Argyle and Brentford. If you're listening on the BBC Sport website, we can take you back to the match then this afternoon at Plainmoor. Torquay United against Welling. Let's go back to Sam Swan. And indeed, for this one, commentary from Paul Mulhern. For Exeter City this afternoon and their match at home against Oxford United, we can go back 95.8 FM in Exeter and East Devon, across the southwest on Freeview Channel 712, and as well as that on the BBC Sport website. It is Exeter City against Oxford United, and let's go back to your commentary team. It's Pat Baldwin and, first of all, your match commentator, Seth Conway. And if you're listening in Plymouth and West Devon on 95.7 FM, across the county on DAB digital radio as well, we can take you back then to the G-Tech Stadium here, where we've got second half commentary underway. Brentford 0, Plymouth Argyle 0. Argyle giving a really good account of themselves in this game so far. An excellent first half from Plymouth Argyle, and can they get over the line? Can they cause a cup set here? The Argyle fans in fine voice. Let's take you back then to your commentary team alongside me in the commentary position here at the GTEC Stadium in West London as the temperature drops another degree or two. Let's go back to Martin Gritton and Alan Seabrook.
Well, as I do, it's Brentford coming forward down the left hand side. Morgan plays it into the area. Argyle will get that way through Barley Mumba, overhead kick up towards the edge of the penalty area. Picked up though once again by Brentford, but Argyle will fight for the ball and they'll get it. Baidoo on it, plays it off to the left hand side. Barley Mumba plays it back for Baidoo, very deep at the moment, inside right boot of Baidoo, plays it forward for Callum Wright. Exchanges passes, Wright has to run back towards his own goal, then plays it across for Paulson. Paulson right-footed, swings it into the midfield for Morgan Whittaker, who's come deep, twisting and turning, gets away from his man, plays it off for Roberts. Roberts stabs it back to Galloway. Galloway off to the left-hand side for Barley Mumba, who had such a good first half for Argyle. And then right-footed will play that infield, and that's not so good. Jensen has the ball, plays it forward. Brentford trying to build through their inside right channel, but Argyle once again defensively doing all the right things and forcing Brentford back towards their own goal. And now that's going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, who controls it with the left instep, and then with the right out, the outside of his right boot will tickle the ball forward into the midfield. Played now longer, higher, out towards the right left-hand side, and Henry tries to get on the end of that. Sorinola gets to it first in the air, but Henry will pick it up and he'll play it infield. Argyle though again down their right-hand side, sticking to the task. The ball is played to the near side and it's picked up by Whittaker. Whittaker will roll it to the edge of the area. A little exchange of passes. Whittaker comes forward. The break is with him and he gets past his man. Coming forward now, tries to step infield. Well, picked up by Roberts, plays it off to the left-hand side for Mumba. Mumba will play it forward. Callum Wright across the area into the box. Little deflection around back as hell's in the 6-yard box, and eventually the keeper drops on the ball and comes away. Nice move down the left-hand side though by Argyle. And just a bit of confusion in that Brentford penalty 6-yard box. Long ball upfield now. Sharda's there, he's trying to get away, and Galloway's having a game of his life as well. Manages to force Sharda away from the 6-yard box, lays it off to the right hand side, and it goes backwards, and Brentford again trying to maintain possession and build the play, and it's with Jensen now. Jensen off to the left hand side of the penalty area, and then the ball into the box once again, goes over everyone's head, off to the far side. Brentford though will maintain possession and they play it backwards, and the cross will come in first time long and high into the area. Plegafuelo's there, clears it to the edge of the box just about. Whittaker's there, comes across, gets the first touch, drags it away from a couple of players, plays it sensibly in field for Randall, and Randall over the top, looking for Baidoo, and it just doesn't drop for him. It's cleared away by Brentford to get their man on the ball first. But again, it's been another bright start to the second half. The first half just carried you through, didn't it? And it's certainly been the case in this second half. But I'm noticing Morgan Whittaker getting on the ball more in deep positions, it has to be said, but he's getting on the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, reckless stuff.
Ball into the area. Argyle with Galloway will clear that away. Picked up again though halfway inside the Argyle half on the right hand side. They play it wide, little exchange of passes, and they're just trying to build something, but they can't quite at the moment. And the ball played into the centre of the area. Brentford trying to play it forward. Randall is there and little juggles it with a head and then tries to nudge the ball further upfield, but it picked up once again by Brentford. And Magoma's there and he's under pressure and he turns and he plays it off to his left hand side, backwards to square, and then to Jensen, and there's going to be a free kick I think there for Argyle. There's an Argyle man down on the edge of the penalty area. One of the points I was going to make, Martin, in the first half, Magoma's getting a lot of the ball and they're trying to build through him a lot. Should we try and get hold of him a little bit more? I mean, I know he's doing it from very deep.
Yeah, the problem is he's kind of a ball playing centre half. If you want anyone on the ball, you want their centre halves to be the one trying to pull the strings, and to be honest, he's been kind of frustrated with what he's been able to do so far. Not to say that he's not having an impact, because he's always available and always on the ball, and he's clearly a classy player. But yeah, Argyle managing it well so far, and good to see Plegafuelo get back up, because he looked like he was rolling around in pain there. took a shot to the back of the head, and seems to be back up and recovering. But yeah, breathless stuff to start the half. Saw Whittaker, a couple of great incisive runs from him through the middle, and just shows you that he kind of glides, doesn't he, when he's on the ball, and he goes past these players the same way he goes past players in the Championship. So it just shows his quality. Just saw him nearly getting in with Beidou, but also brilliant play down the left hand side, getting right in and right putting a good ball across. But you just think Beidou, maybe if he could have just checked his run, maybe for a cut back there. But again, I'm nitpicking. It's been a good display.
It has been. Coulson then to take the free kick on the edge of the Argyle penalty area, centre field, right-footed, lifts it upfield, helped on its way by Callum Wright. Beidou won't get to that one. It's picked up again by Brentford. They play it back to the keeper, lay it off for Vandenberg. Vandenberg will turn and come forward, and then right-footed play it across the back line for Jisoo, and Jisoo will play it forward, and Beidou will put pressure on it. Comes into the midfield for Magoma, and Magoma right-footed plays the ball over the top down the right-hand side. It's a loose ball, and it will go all the way through for Hazard, and it remains Argyle nil, or Brentford nil, Argyle nil here at the G-Tech in the FA Cup third round. And Argyle, well, as I was saying before, some of the Argyle fans were saying, well, if we can keep it down to single digits, well, they're doing better than that. The ball bounces forward. It won't find Beidou, though. Brentford will scoop the ball forward down their left-hand side. Argyle, though, will clear it away. But Henry comes across just to collect the ball as it drops into touch. Throw in then for Brentford down their left, halfway inside their own half. Argyle again getting tighter to players and pressing that little bit higher as the chill comes over, and I'm starting to feel that this afternoon. Henry on the ball down the left hand side for Brentford. Argyle though with Roberts will just put enough pressure on, and it'll roll into touch on the near side. Throw in then for Brentford. They throw it forward. It's Sharda who's there, and he plays it back for Henry, and Henry turns full circle, then left footed will fire the ball upfield. Comes to Sharda on halfway, and Brentford putting the Argyle putting the pressure on. They win the ball through Morgan Whittaker, tries to change direction, and he wins a free kick.
Great stuff again from Whittaker. Just calm on the ball, isn't he?
What have you made of Roberts this afternoon?
Yeah, he's busied himself, isn't he? Him and Randall. It's a tough task because they have to go both ways. You have to sit deep, and you have to just try and kind of cut off the Brentford attacks. But at the same time, when you're on the ball, you've only got a moment or two to kind of recycle it, keep possession, and they're doing that really well.
I was looking at the stats at half-time on the websites and stuff. Apparently, Brentford had 73% possession, but 4 shots, 2 on target. We know those are the ones Hazard pushed away. Argyle had 2, so for all the pressure, Argyle defensively have been really strong in this game.
Yeah, and you're going to sacrifice possession, aren't you? Right? That's the nature of this. I mean, a lot of Premier League teams even have that mentality when they're up against a better side. So Argyle, you were probably prepared for that, but what we have seen from Argyle is just kind of a brightness and an inventiveness and an energy and an appetite to be in this game. They're certainly not wilted.
Magoma on the ball, lays it off to his right hand side, picked up by Jensen. Jensen right footed, spins the ball out to the right hand side, and Jisoo has it now inside right channel for Brentford, coming up towards halfway, and then he stands on the ball, plays it off to his right, and it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. And Beidou is running and working hard to try and shut men down, but Vandenberg comes forward. His ball is a flat one and it's not good, and Argyle momentarily through Plegathwela will scoop the ball into the air. It drops into touch on this near side, just inside the Brentford half. Vandenberg will take the throw, plays it back to his goalkeeper, comes outside the area, then right-footed will play it to Vandenberg once again, taps it in front of himself with the outside of his right boot, inside left channel at the moment, and then plays it into for Magoma in the centre field, plays it off to the right hand side. Argyle though, once again, Barley Mumbo getting to the ball first, tries to twist and turn and come away with the ball, and whilst he fell over, he still managed to get the ball away, and Argyle trying to build down the left hand side, picked up though by Brentford, and Argyle now will win the ball. It's a little bit like basketball over there just at the moment. One team has it, then the other, but Brentford have it at the moment. They fire it up towards the edge of the penalty area, the Argyle penalty area, the left edge as Argyle look at it, but it's cleared away, and there's going to be a throw on the far side then for Brentford. You just wonder how long Argyle can keep this kind of pace up, don't you?
You do, but it's one of those. This is how these games go, isn't it? If you got any chance to nick it, you nick it and you shut up shop. And we just haven't had the chance to nick it yet. So Argyle doing everything right from their point of view, but you know, Brentford, you expect this from them. They're a quality side.
And Argyle again winning the ball back through Morgan Whittaker. Little backhill, maintains possessions, finds Sorinolo, and Sorinolo's ball upfield is not a good one. It only finds Henry. Henry will turn away from green shirts and play it into the back line for Jisoo, and Jisoo into the midfield now for Yarmouk, and Yarmouk off to the right hand side. Brentford forced to go sideways at the moment. Little exchange of passes though, and Yarmouk comes forward, and the tackle comes in from Argyle, and it's missed tackle, and Yarmouk will drive forward, and Argyle trying to get men around the ball, but it's played off to the right hand side for Brentford, who now get the cross left footed into the edge of the penalty area, and Argyle will now get this away. And well, I thought we might have been a little bit too casual in trying to get it away, but Baidoo has the ball now, and a little sway of the hips just gives him a little bit of room, and he goes up towards halfway line, and he gets a tap on the ankles, and he goes to ground, and that's got to be a free kick for Argyle.
Well, it was 1v4, wasn't it? He didn't have anywhere to go, so he did really well to get something then.
I thought initially he did really well because he was surrounded, as you say, by players. Little sway of the hips, he just bought himself a bit of space.
And you know, it's good to see him getting a bit of a good response from the home fans. Sorry, the away fans. It feels like the home fans because they're making more noise in Brentford. But you know, he needs that because you know it's a tough afternoon for him. Let's make no mistake.
Yeah, absolutely, and he can look back on that and think, yeah, that was a good moment in my game, apart from all the work that he's doing. Free kick then for Argyle, just inside the Brentford half, right-footed, lifted up towards the edge of the area. Paulson won't get to that. It's cleared away. Argyle, though, will pick it up on the right-hand side. Dragged out for Morgan Whittaker. Whittaker then looking to come across the field.
Lovely.
Left-footed, swings it into the area. It's helped on its way across the box by Brentford's right back. And it will go out, and that's going to be a corner, and that was much better from Argyle on that occasion.
A corner right in front of the Argyle fans, as you can probably hear the response from them. Absolutely delighted. Morgan Whittaker, it's nice when you see teams that don't know what Morgan Whittaker's left foot's all about, isn't it?
Do you know, I was thinking that because
they just let him drift on. I was like, do you know what? He might have an opportunity in this game where he can just open up and whip that ball. You know, it's like Mo Salah. You know, you see teams that don't they know how good his left foot is, but Morgan Whittaker's got a little bit of a he's got a chance here, hasn't he?
As he was cutting in, I was thinking exactly what you were saying. I thought, if he scored so many from there. The corner then taken short into the edge of the 6-yard box, goes back out to the left hand side, crossed into the middle. The keeper though is there first, but yeah, it's hopefully they'll just leave the door ajar for Morgan Whittaker a few more times, and he doesn't need 2 invites, does he really? No. But a nice ball when he did play it though, more sensible maybe, but I still kind of had a poke, I think. Yarmouk on the ball, inside left channel then for Brentford, coming up towards halfway, plays it into the midfield, and it's poked back out again and picked up by Van den Berg, and Van den Berg off to the right hand side for Jisoo, and Jisoo will play it further down the right hand side. Brentford looking to build, and Yarmouk is on the ball, plays it over the top. That should be comfortable for Argyle, and the Green Army, as ever, noisy away to my right hand side. Give that a cheer as the ball drops behind for a goal kick for Argyle.
Just seeing Randall give him a little tap to Roberts again, just encouraging him. Yeah. Those two have been on us. It's like there's a string between the two of them, just keeping them in position, because they've been flawless in terms of their position and their discipline, because that's a really tough job.
Bundu is coming on, and Baidoo is going off, and gets a big hug from Kevin Nanksville.
Yeah, that's good.
He's worked his socks off this afternoon. Bundu though, he's got a finish on him and a bit of pace, and he can play down the middle, which is where he's been asked at the moment. So fresh legs up there, and I guess that was always going to be the case.
Yeah, exactly, and it's good to see they've got options on the bench.
It is. The ball over the top once again. That was a bit worrying though. Bundu and Wright both trying to fill the same hole down there. They're going to have to sort that out. The ball now is on the right hand side then for Brentford, coming forward. Try to stab it down the line, which they do. Yarmouk on the ball, turns and drags it backwards, then with a couple of touches with the sole of his boot, plays it in field for Carvalho, and Carvalho off to the right hand side for Magoma, and Magoma coming forward once again, but Argyle just get a little touch on the ball to take it away from him. It's Mumba who's done it. Fresh legs on the field, back working hard, and just wins Argyle a free kick halfway inside their own half, centre field, well, slightly left of centre, so it's going to be a free kick then for the hard working Argyle, and it remains Brentford 0, Argyle 0.
It's just nice to see the different dynamic, having Bunda up top now, you know, not just a little bit out of his reach, Mumba, but yeah, just I think he adds it, he occupies the defenders' minds a little bit more when you've got someone of his stature next to you, particularly with set pieces and what might happen. Great voice from Green Army.
Certainly is. Throw in on the right hand side then for Brentford. They help it on its way upfield. Argyle will get there first though. A little bit of an overhit back pass, but Poulsen's there and he'll play it back to Hazard, and Hazard left footed will boom the ball upfield, looking to get it over halfway. Sorinola won't get to that one, cleared away by Brentford. Argyle again have it, and they kind of chop it into the air, and it drops inside the Brentford half, and they play it off to the left hand side for Henry, and Henry will come forward, feed the ball forward. It's back to Henry down the left hand side, looking to get the cross in. Is he? Sorinola's with him. Sorinola sticks with him. Sorinola's having a good game.
Yeah, unlucky from Sorinola, almost got the ball to bounce back off Henry. Henry's looked a little bit apprehensive, as you would when you haven't played a game for 14 months. His first game back in. Sorinola's done a brilliant job against him.
This might be a sign of some of the frustrations that Brentford are having, and Boomer is coming on and Lewis Potter is coming on. I know one's a left back, but the other one is a really lethal striker, and it's just like they feel that they've got to do a little bit more in that final third, clearly. Potter's on for Henry, that's the straight swap. But yeah, Brentford having to, well, they're just changing things up a little bit.
Well, yeah, and perhaps respecting the opponents in the way that Argyle would want to be respected, because bringing on your best player.
And Boomer, yeah, Visa's still on the bench for them, of course, as well. But it's a corner on the left-hand side then for Brentford. More work for Argyle to do. Right-footed in-swinger across the 6-yard box. Hazard's there, gets fists to it, goes it straight to Barley Mumba, who dribbles the ball out of the area, and as he escapes the 18-yard box, he gets tripped to the ground. It's going to be a free kick for Argyle.
You want Hazard coming and catching them one, really.
Do you know?
He's got enough time and space to grab that one out there and just take the sting out of it. But well done to Barley Mumba for doing the same thing.
I was thinking the same thing, because he almost punched it into trouble, didn't he?
It's a harder thing to punch that ball cleanly than it is to catch it.
Ball down the right hand side for Argyle. Morgan Whittaker chases it, but Vandenberg's there, plays it back to the goalkeeper. Bundu is there, shutting the keeper down, and it's enough pressure on the goalie that he puts the ball into touch on the far side. Quarter of the way inside the Brentford half. It remains Brentford 0, Argyle 0 to go. Brentford just playing with that little bit of fizz and excitement so far this afternoon. The ball then thrown in field, finds Mumba once again twists and turns and plays it down the line for Callum Wright with a cross from the left hand side into the area, and an effort at the far post. It just goes wide of the target from Sorinola, up from right back. Good work again from Mumba and Callum Wright. They just look so good this afternoon. The ball's a long cross all the way to the back six. Sorinola, well, he got to it, just couldn't get it on target, couldn't get his head round it enough.
Couldn't believe his luck, probably. I mean, what a ball that was. And Sorinola probably is not the man that you're expecting to pop up the back stick with a header, but you know, he did his best.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what an opportunity. Callum, great ball in from Wright. He's been exceptional today.
The ball then down the left-hand side for Brentford. They're trying to break the Argyle back line. Argyle, though, will get touches on the ball, and it comes out now for Magoma, and Magoma right-footed, plays it off to the right-hand side. And that is not the best of touches, it's not the best of passes, it's more like the sort of pass I would have made rather than one that Martin Gritton would have made.
Do you know, when I was speaking to some of the guys, media before the game, talking about how good he was, and you can see he's a great player, but he's got frustrated, hasn't he, as the afternoon's going on, Paris Magoma, and that's testament to the job that Argyle are doing in the midfield. So keep it up.
I just think if Argyle could grab a goal, get a chance, grab a goal, all heck is going to break loose, isn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. And you know, the later the better.
Yeah. Argyle with some defending to do at the moment. Paulson comes across as Brentford tried to break down the right-hand side, sticks it into touch on the far side. No messing, no fussing, good old-fashioned centre-half work.
No nonsense from him. I mean, to be honest, I liked him as a centre of the three because he's not had to mark anyone.
No.
I prefer him when he's not, because he's almost marshalling. But those three have actually done a cracking job. And you know, we know I think Galloway's a top player.
There seems to be one or two Argyle fans here this afternoon. Cheering their side on, chanting and singing, and Argyle players might just need that to help them get over the line. They've got some defending to do on the edge of the box. Shot comes in and it goes through a crowd of players and wide of the upright. I think it might have taken a snick on the way through. I think we've got a corner kick for Argyle to defend. It's going to be on the right hand side, and it's yeah, Magoma is no, it's not actually Magoma, it's the substitute, and Boomer, who's gone over to take this corner kick. He backs away to the advertising hoardings. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger, long and high to the back post, goes over everybody's head, bounces all the way through to the near side, and Argyle again blocking up the spaces and doing well defensively and forcing it infield. And Carvalho off to the right hand side for Mbuma. Mbuma, I think he may just have been offside, and certainly it's a free kick to Argyle. And again, it just takes the sting out of the play just a little bit. 67 minutes on the clock on the scoreboard opposite. 67 minutes 34 seconds. It also says that it's Brentford 0, Argyle 0.
It flips the nerves as well, because if you're a home fan now, you're starting to get worried. You know, you're starting to look at it and say, okay, we may be on top here, but the longer this goes on.
And Argyle win the ball once again in the midfield. They find Whittaker. Whittaker tries to go back towards his own goal and drill it past a couple of players, but he can't do, and Carvalho has it now off to the right hand side for Magoma, and Magoma back for Jensen off to the left hand side now for Lewis Potter. Lewis Potter right footed to the edge of the penalty area, and they tried to get Lewis Potter in round the back. Great work from Sorinola, spotted the danger, intercepted it, played it off to the right hand side for Morgan Whittaker. Tries to allow the ball to go out of play, but he has it nipped off his toe, and as the ball goes forward from Brentford, Sorinola's there once again, who just clears the ball upfield. He seems to read the game very nicely, Sorinola.
Yeah, no, he's, when I've seen him play well, he's just effortless. He's got a class. He's plays with a real sort of laid back, easy sort of attitude, because it makes him he's very calm when he gets the ball, and you know, and he doesn't often look unflustered. Unfortunately, sometimes it's just been overwhelming, the attacks we've seen Argyle suffer.
And Argyle have the ball now for Mustafa Bundu, and Bundu will play it into the centre for Randall, left-footed. Levers it out to that left-hand side for Barley Mumba. Back to Randall. First time left-footed ball for Callum Wright, and then off to the left-hand side once again. It's played into the middle. Morgan Whittaker gets it on the left boot, gets the shot away.
Callum Wright's back.
Yeah. It sounds like a podcast. But yeah, the shot comes in. You could see what he wanted to do. We know he can do it from there, but it hits Callum Wright. I'm not sure it had the usual Morgan Whittaker power, but certainly it would have been a shot on target. And Brentford coming forward again. Lewis Potter in down the left-hand side. He's offside, and that's good to see. He just went too soon, otherwise he was really in behind the Argyle defence down the left-hand side, Lewis Potter. But Argyle holding their line, and they're doing well, and it's the clock ticks round just a few more minutes, and we're nearly up to 70-0. It remains Brentford 0, Argyle 0. Going to be a free kick on the right-hand side then for the offside.
Number 32, Paris Magoma. Number 11,
and Magoma's now coming off, and Visa's coming on, so they've got their first choice strike partnership out there.
Yeah, that's it. Bring on the big guns.
And Vandenberg's going off. Collins is coming on just a straight swap, but they're up in the ante in the final third at the moment. But even then, when they try to get Lewis Potter in, he's not done it so far. Obviously, I'm doing research for this. I watched the Brentford game against Southampton, which I'm not sure what you take from that. But Visa and Magoma, excellent players.
Yep,
and Argyle going to make a substitution as well. And ball played forward. And Brentford will feed the ball upfield where they find Carvalho, and Carvalho will turn and play the ball forward, and Argyle will hook that back over halfway up towards Bundu, and Bundu has just been penalised by the referee, and we're going to have Palhach coming on, the new signing for Argyle. And the ball, though, is given away loosely in the midfield, and it's Jensen who picks the ball up. But again, Argyle just always seem to have a toe there. They seem to have that desire to want to get to the ball first, and they play it forward through the inside left channel for Morgan Whittaker, off to the left-hand side for Barley Mumba. Takes it in his stride, driving down that left-hand side. Needs support in the middle, crosses it into the near post. The defender gets across, so puts it into touch. The Argyle fans away to my right cheer and roar their approval of that ball down the left-hand side and the cross to the middle. They have a corner.
Well, another opportunity. This is when the height potentially Mbundu on the pitch, but the big lads coming up from the attack.
And JB's just getting ready to come on as well.
Yeah. JB and Pugac, I believe, is the phonetic, I would say.
Okay, right. Corner on the left, I don't know. Corner on the left-hand side, curled into the area from underneath the crossbar. It's helped on its way across the 6-yard box. It's picked up, though, by Galloway. Galloway, edge of the penalty area, brought to ground. That's going to be a free kick, surely. I think it is. Yeah, how are we saying this, then? Pugac.
Timothias Pugac. Timothias Pugac.
Okay, Pugac.
But no, great to see him get his debut, and also, I mean, the new manager coming in it's great for him to get a look at some of these players, but he must be very pleased with what he's seen.
Whittaker plays the ball in field, finds Randall, twisting, turning, plays it back for Whittaker once again, drags it with the sole of his boot. It gives him a moment's space, and now Sharda will bring it forward for Brentford, and then it goes off to the right-hand side from Damsgaard, and then Brentford now building over halfway, trying to play the ball down the line, and it's going to be some more good work, I think, coming across Galloway. And was there a free kick in there anyway, or an offside? But certainly the game has been pulled back, and it remains Brentford 0, Argyle 0. 73 minutes on the clock. I don't know, the clock just seems to be going so slow in the second half. It raced past in the first. Exeter 3, Oxford 1 elsewhere. And here at the GTEC Stadium, it's Brentford 0, Argyle 0, and Brentford have had to bring on their Visa and Mbuma, their main strikers. They didn't start the game, but they're on now, such as the frustration and combative element that Plymouth have brought to this game. But free kick on the right-hand side now. This is around 20 yards out, wide on the right-hand side. It's a free kick, as I say, for Brentford. And Mbouma's over the ball. And it's going to be a couple of, and I think Yarmaluk is also over the ball. Yarmaluk it is, to the near post. Argyle once again get the ball away, and they'll be able to complete the clearance up to halfway, and everyone can squeeze up now, and the pressure is on from Callum Wright, who still seems to have some energy in his legs. And it's picked up and played to Collins. Collins then, inside left channel, comes forward for Brentford. Nobody on his back at the moment. Carvalho, who pulled 2 really good saves from Hazard in the first half, picks up the ball, and it goes out to Lewis Potter on the left-hand side. Jensen now, in step of the right boot, inside left channel, exchanges passes, gets the ball back. Collins then rolls it into the midfield for Visa, and Visa will turn and run. He's an athletic player, and then he feeds it off to the left-hand side for Lewis Potter. Lewis Potter will play this infield for Carvalho. Carvalho under pressure from Roberts, and he'll play it off to the right-hand side for Mbuma. Mbuma will play it off for the overlap, and it comes into the middle once for Brentford, and they'll play it back to the edge of the box. The shot comes in, and Argyle once again, it's bodies on the line. and the ball will spin away, and it'll be a corner on the right hand side for Brentford, who look a little more lively for having Visa and Boomer on the pitch, but not lively enough so far to break that Argyle backline.
Yeah, again, resolute defending. I think it was Adam Randall that time. Great stuff.
He's had a good game, Adam Randall.
Yeah, again, skipper performance from him. He's never shirks responsibility in that middle of the park, and good going forward and defensively.
Corner on the right hand side then, and Boomer to take this for Brentford. He backs away, raises his right arm, comes up now, left footed, cliffs it into the edge of the 6-yard box. A little flick header, takes a deflection. It's in Argyle's favour, and they lift it up towards halfway, and Brentford will have to chase back to get the ball for Rusloff, and he'll play it down the line for Jensen, and Jensen still further down the line looking for Lewis Potter, wide on the left hand side, level with the edge of the penalty area, dummies to cross, then dummies to cross again, and eventually leaves the ball, and it's now into the middle. Argyle get ahead on the ball, it's cleared away for Rusloff again, and he picks it up and plays it off for Collins. Collins turns, and Brentford at the moment trying to find a way through, trying to unpick the lock, but Argyle at the moment unpickable, and the ball now is with Jensen. Jensen off to the left hand side for Lewis Potter, comes up right footed, hammers it into the penalty area once again. Argyle just always seem to have a head or a knee or a nose or something in the way. The ball now with Whittaker, stabs the ball forward, and Callum Wright there drops back from a forward position just to pick it up, and he spins and finds a little bit of room, plays it off to the left hand side for Barley Mumba, controls it with the instep of the left boot, plays it off for Randall. Randall will play the ball back again to the right hand side. Torquay 2-1 up at the moment. The ball then from Morgan Whittaker, floats it upfield looking for Callum Wright. It's cleared away though by Brentford, and the Brentford fans just want their side to get on with it, and the ball is played forward now for Visa, and Visa up against the Argyle back line, and Argyle at the moment just keeping the ball away, and the shot comes in and it curls around Plegathwalo. Paulson it was who was holding up Visa, and then it's the shot though that curled around Plegathwalo. It's wide of the target. I think it may have clipped in on the way through. We have another corner for Brentford, who've had more than their fair share of corners really.
I'm feeling sorry for Pukach and JB, who's both been on the touchline here waiting to come on for must be 5 minutes now, and they're stripped down to their kit in the freezing cold down there, but obviously there hasn't been a good moment to bring them on.
Corner then on the right hand side for Brentford, into the middle, and it's going to go behind. It's going to be another corner then for Brentford. Now we're bringing them on now then, ref, maybe Pukach. See, I'm saying it right now. Pukach and JB. It's going to be another corner though, and Boomer to take it, to spots the ball up. Everyone in there, such a crowd of players in and around that penalty area, and Boomer then backs away to the advertising hoarding once again. It's going to be left-footed, plays it high into the area. Argyle through Paulson just rises unchallenged, majestically heads the ball upfield towards halfway, and under pressure from Barley Mumba, Brentford go all the way back to their goalkeeper and play it out to this near side. Lewis Potter just turns on halfway, inside left channel, rolls it with the sole of his right boot, and plays it for Jensen. Jensen sway of the hips, and then plays it back for Rosloff, and he plays it into the middle, and Argyle now pressing that bit higher, and it goes back to the goalkeeper, and Bundu trying to put the pressure on, but really you need everyone pressing together to play that game, and it goes off to the right hand side. Brentford then trying to build through their inside right channel. Collins on the ball, right footed, clips it over the top, looking for Boomer, and Boomer's control isn't exactly what he would necessarily have wanted, but as Argyle play it away, that's not exactly what they would have wanted either, but they're having to fight for it, and every battle they've fought in this afternoon they've won, and they play it off to the left hand side now for Callum Wright, and Callum Wright making yards down the left hand side, checks infield onto his right boot, plays it off to the left hand side, the ball played infield. That was a poor ball. I'm not sure where that was supposed to go from Bundu, but it's cleared away, it goes into touch, and again the Argyle fans are on their toes, and they're up and they're cheering their side, as you would expect from every single Argyle fan who travels around the country and supports their side. You see it week in and week out, and now Galloway's coming off, and Pukach is coming on, and Galloway is coming, Ajabi's coming on. And it's going to be Randall who comes off as well. Interesting, I suppose. The new guys are left back, so not such a problem really bringing Galloway off, unless we're going to go for a different formation.
Well, yeah, interesting bringing your skipper off. I think that Galloway Randall have been two of the better players. So I mean, it's a bit of a strange one. Well, let's see what I mean, we're looking at extra time at the minute, which is something that neither of these teams want. You know, with Argyle, with the 3 games that they've got coming up, and the last thing you want, I mean, as brilliant as this is, you'd rather it just go straight to penalties. But anyway, great display from those two. I've been really impressed by Galloway.
There's been a lot of good performances, hasn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Really pick one out. Callum Wright on the ball now, twists away from his man, wide on the left-hand side, drags it still further. The tackle comes in, the ball rolls off to the left-hand side. Bundu's there, but he allows it to run across his body into touch. Takes the throw in quickly and finds it's Paulson now. It's Roberts on the ball. Plays it off for JB. Then it comes to this near side for Sorinola, and Sorinola finds Whittaker, and Whittaker comes in field, and it's almost opened up for him, and then he dummies to shoot, and then he gets his shot away, and it's low and hard, and it finds the bottom left-hand corner. Morgan Whittaker doing what Morgan Whittaker does. Argyle have soaked up so much possession from Brentford. Morgan Whittaker cuts along the edge of the area, unleashes a left foot shot. Argyle lead. Brentford 0, Argyle 1.
Well, what did we say? Left foot. We were just waiting for that opportunity. So was Morgan Whittaker. But what a finish! I just kept asking the question, kept pushing the ball on a little bit further until it opened up. And we all know what he can do. Brilliant power from him. It's almost skidded and caught the keeper unawares. But I mean, I don't care how it goes in. That is an unbelievable goal, and the timing of it. What did we say? As late as possible. Argyle, I've got to look at this now and say, we've got to go on and win this. But brilliant, and from the Green Army to see that down that end, just superb stuff.
Can you do that thing where you whistle with your teeth? And
again, it's his left foot. Brentford underestimating, perhaps not knowing about him, but anyone watching this back, whoever Argyle are playing, should be knowing about Morgan Whittaker's left foot.
This is going to be a very long last 8 minutes, plus the rest. Brentford have the ball. They play it off to the left-hand side for Jensen. Jensen plays it back for Collins. Collins out to the left-hand side, and Argyle. Well, it's Morgan Whittaker back there, and he has done a job defensively this afternoon, and he does enough to put the Brentford player off on this occasion. It's going to be Jensen to take the throw in, level with the penalty area. These next couple of minutes could be really important. Argyle need to stay switched on. Potter then angles the ball into the area. The header goes back across the face of goal, and it just drops wide of the target. And as you say, Martin Gritton, goal kick. But yeah, I mean, he was so patient, wasn't he? It opened up in a way that it does in the Championship and League One for him initially, but then it shut down. So he didn't have a just about it wastefully. He went to the next hole, and then the next hole, and eventually he found a hole to shoot through.
The hard thing there as well, when you're pushing it away, because you're going further away from the goal to generate that power. Because from when he just chops in on his left foot, and you can see it almost go like a kind of a howitzer into the back of the net. But that one is difficult because he's moving away. But brilliant from him just to be that composed and keep his balance, and be able to pull the trigger with that much power.
So Brentford Argyle take the goal kick. It's up over halfway, drops into touch on the near side. I completely missed the injury time at the end of the first half because I was just enjoying the game so much. We've got to keep an eye on it. I don't think there's been a lot. We haven't had injuries or anything, so another 1 minute will do me. Exeter still lead 3-1, but Oxford are now down to 10 men. And Visa has the ball, and he gets a nudge in the back from JB and goes to ground just inside the Argyle half, through the inside left channel. And they take the free kick quickly. Collins has it, centre field, rolls it into the midfield for Jensen. Jensen, right-footed, plays it backwards to square for Dansgaard, and it goes off to the right-hand side for Ji-sun, and then back in field for Collins. Collins has yards to work with, and so he does, and he plays it out to the left-hand side. Then for Jensen. Jensen tries to lift the ball over the top. It's headed across the edge of the 6-yard box, and Argyle again just get a toe on the ball. They lift it up towards halfway. Doesn't make halfway. Picked up by Collins inside left channel. Plays it with the right boot out to the left-hand side for Potter and Lewis Potter, and Potter into the middle. And again, Argyle get a head on the ball, and you wonder how they keep doing that. You would think at some stage there would be a red and white shirt getting a header, but not so far. The ball ball then played forward down the right hand side for Mbuma, and Mbuma is tackled by Wright, and Callum Wright back doing some defensive duty this afternoon. Callum Wright's just been, I don't know, you could go through them all and say they've been brilliant, but Callum Wright's been brilliant.
No, he's been excellent. Look at the body language of the Brentford players now, just looking that frustrated. I know they're still incredibly dangerous and there's still plenty of time, but Argyle have done such a great job in frustrating them this afternoon.
The ball then is with Brentford. Jisoo has the ball, he comes forward, he's got lots of room to move, and then plays the ball out to the right hand side for Mbuma. Mbuma plays it backwards, and it's Jisoo again off to the right hand side, ball angled into the area. Argyle again get ahead on the ball, played off to the left hand side, it's cleared upfield. The chase is on for Mustafa Bundu and Jisoo, but Jisoo will get there, plays it all the way back to the goalkeeper, and I guess you could say, oh well, you could have carried on and tried to shut the keeper down. At this point it's keeping shape, and
yeah, no, exactly, the danger's there.
Ball for Visa, left edge of the penalty area, he's got his back to goal, he's getting green shirts around him, beautifully finds some room, plays it into the area, but Argyle will clear that away to this near side, and but Brentford will pick it up once again. But then there's Morgan Whittaker, the hero of the afternoon, but it's picked up by Visa now, and the tackle comes in. Argyle just been tenacious defensively. The ball though is with Jensen inside left channel, plays it with the instep of the right boot for Jisoo, and Jisoo will play that still further out to the right hand side, and at the moment Brentford not going full very much with this passage of play. They play it off to the right hand side, little flick with the outside the right boot, tries to play it infield, and now there is a chance though for Brentford. They get the shot and it loops into the air and it drops into the hands of Hazard, and I don't usually approve of this sort of thing, but I would have liked to have seen him just drop to his knees and fall over. That's always worth it.
Well, he's certainly not rushing. And again, things just falling for Argyle at the minute.
Brentford 0, Argyle 1. I'll get sick of saying that this afternoon. 87 minutes on the clock, and Brentford coming forward once again through Damsgaard, lays it off to the right hand side, looking to get the shot away, and they don't, and Boomer's there, and Boomer plays it into the area. He's looking for Visa, and again Argyle just get men to the ball first. Why is it always a green, I'm pleased, but why is it always a green shirt gets to the ball before a red and white
It was so important that he did, because Visa was just literally under the crossbar, wasn't he? It would have taken the depth of touches from him, but it wouldn't have taken much to put that ball in the back of the net. Just seen, is it Pleguezuelo? Just a bit of cramp from him, he's trying to stretch that off, but it was him that had intercepted that and just got enough of a touch on it to put Visa off.
Corner then on the right hand side, Brian and Boomer to take it. Brentford have had so many corners in this game, and Argyle have just time and again have managed to defend things and do incredibly well to keep them away. 13 corners so far, 14 probably with this one. Corner on the right hand side, how long have we got? I hate it when the scoreboard goes to adverts. I need to see the clock. Show me the clock. Anyway, it's Brentford 0, Argyle 1. Morgan Whittaker with the goal, cutting in off the right flank with his left peg as ever. 82 minutes on the clock at that point. Yeah, we've got a bit of treatment going on in the 6-yard box for is that one of the Argyle players down?
I think it's Pleguezuelo, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the other thing. You don't want to rack up the
injury time
clock, because those minutes always seem even more stressful than the regular time.
Do they?
Yeah, I think they last a little bit longer as well. But yeah, no, again, the home fans now getting frustrated. Argyle have to be really switched on here, defend this, because this is incredibly dangerous time to score, and psychologically,
I just wonder.
Deflate you, so they've just got to do whatever they can.
Corner then on the right hand side when we resume play, which we're about to, for Brentford, and Boomer to take this. Argyle lead by a goal to nil. Corner then, left footed, long and high to the back post. The shot comes in, it goes across the face of goal, and then it's headed into the back of the net, but the referee has already blown and will take that all day long. And there's been a goal with Torquay and Welling. I heard Torquay 3, but Welling, I didn't hear the bit after that, so I can't bring you the rest of that scoreline.
Well, it was a stupid foul from Brentford there, because Hazard, he just looked as though he was getting fouled from before the corner was even taken, but I don't mind that at all.
We're into injury time. Did you spot what it was?
No.
No, it's just the game has been. You don't want to take your eye off the game, really. And it's going to be better to come onto the field of play. Another substitution then for Argyle as they look to hang on to this 1-goal lead, and we are into injury time. And Ogbeta comes on, and it'll be Callum Wright who will go from the field of play as we look to just get Argyle over the line. Callum Wright comes off, little shake of the hand with Ogbeta on the halfway line. 6 minutes of injury time, I think that was. Plegathuelo's just waiting to come back onto the field of play. 6 minutes.
Well, I mean,
with 5 to go, I would imagine by now.
It's probably about right. We prefer one, but yeah, with the amount of subs and stuff that's happened. But
yes,
Argyle is still they're in the driving seat here. They're not backs against the wall. Just got to keep pressing and trying. Don't drop too deep.
Brentford have the ball then in the centre of their defence. Driving run up through the inside right channel. They tried to slide it in behind, but Barley Mumba had such a good first half. Tries to lay the ball, intercepts and tries to lay it off to Ogbeta, but Ogbeta won't get to that one. The ball then played out to the right hand side by Brentford.
Well done, Mumba.
And Mumba comes across once again, and his man tries to go past him, knocks the ball into touch. And Boomer picks the ball up, tries to go for a little exchange of passes. It's not a good exchange of passes. The ball rolls behind for a goal kick. Barley Mumba's there to just collect the ball, but his pass back to the goal doesn't quite reach it. It does very slowly, and we're happy to see that, because that just winds the clock down. We have almost 92 minutes on the clock. We're expecting 96, maybe just a little more. The scoreline is Brentford 0, Argyle 1. This is going to be a big afternoon for Argyle. If they can hang on, of course. That's 6 times that they'll have gone past Brentford in the FA Cup out of 6.
And that will be the best stat of the day, Alan, and it's all yours.
And the other one, they're still unbeaten this year, if that happens. The ball then comes forward. It's Morgan Whittaker down the right-hand side. That's a nice ball for Bundu. Can he get there? He can. Into the penalty area. Comes back from the dead ball line. Goes down under pressure. Never going to be a penalty, that. But Jensen has the ball now. He dances away from the penalty area. Plays it through the lines. Out to the left-hand side for Lewis Potter. Tries to come in field and just... enough there from Sorinola, who pleads his innocence. I think he probably knew that it was just like...
It was a clever foul. He's not got booked, and he's to be honest, he stopped the attack. But
yes,
yeah, I mean, it was innocuous enough, wasn't it?
It was.
Just what Bundu there, he's got in such a good position. Just put the ball across first time.
Potter on the ball, cuts infield on his right foot, tries to play it infield. JB's there, clears it away to the far side where it's picked up now by Mbuma, and Mbuma then fast feet. He's trying to go past the Barley Mumba. 2 Argyle players double up on him then, and Barley Mumba does come away with the ball, and he spins around and he goes to ground, and he's going to eat up a bit more time.
I just looking at Joe Edwards trying to keep a straight face down there. Him and Nance Gibble they're both buzzing. You can see they're just containing their pleasure and excitement, especially when the Brentford player gives them a lifeline like that. But this is what a win it would be for those two to sign off their time at the tenure as managing this or leading the team out, I should say. Perhaps not managers, more coaches, but certainly something to be proud of if they can see it through.
Hazard takes the free kick then down the left hand side. It's helped on its way, but Brentford will get to that first. I'm expecting, and most people won't remember this, a Bob Stokoe a la 1973 Jim Montgomery ending to this, with Nance running on the pitch and grabbing someone and hugging them. The ball then in the centre of the field. Damsgaard has the ball, in step of the right boot, plays it down the left hand side for Carvalho. Carvalho plays it in behind, and it's going to come back to him. He plays it with the outside of the right boot into the midfield.
Yes.
Sorinola picks up the ball. He goes to ground. Frustration for Brentford. Sorinola, I think he's got cramp as well. He's pulling at his toe, and he's been... Whittaker comes across and holds his leg up and squeezes his calf, and it's just...
We're in the 95th minute. I mean, this is... I don't think the ref would have too much appetite to add any more to it, so if he can get up, but... he wants him off the pitch now, that's the problem.
They have worked so hard out there.
I mean, the issue is that it's like this is such a massive thing, right? There's a bit after the Lord Mayor's show, because the big games Tuesday night, Saturday, those are the ones that Argyle fans are really worried about. With this, it's just an absolute bonus ball.
This is lots of icing. We need some cake in midweek,
Yes,
don't we, really?
Correct. Exactly.
The ball played forward and by Brentford, and the Argyle fans cheer because it's going to be throw-in, I think, on the right-hand side for Argyle. And Sorinola limps upfield and he's going to take it, and then kind of, it's just he is hobbling a little bit just to take a throw in, so I'm not sure what the rest is going to be like. We've got 15 seconds of extra time to go, and Lewis Potter challenges Bundu, and it runs behind. It's going to be a goal kick now. Brentford need to get on with this quickly, but we don't want them to. The ball then played through the thirds. It's with Jisoo. Jisoo lays it off to his left-hand side, where Jensen and the Argyle fans now whistling, blowing, encouraging the referee to blow for full time. The ball back for Jensen, inside left channel, coming up towards the... up towards the area, but Argyle will break now. Can they? They can't quite. They stole the ball, and they tried to flick it through to JB, and JB couldn't get on the end of it, and now Brentford come forward once again down the left-hand side. Lewis Potter's there. He just manages to maintain possession. Argyle, well, Bundu there, one of the fresher players on the pitch, just comes across and he gets brought to ground. I think that's a free kick, and Sorinola is in a bad way.
The referee's got to blow up here, surely. I mean,
we're a minute into injury time, over the top of injury time at the moment. Sorinola.
Bundu's driving me crazy because they were away. They were 2v1, just a slightly better touch. Get your toe to that. Do everything you can, because goodness.
You make a good point, but what do we do about Sorinola? We can't leave. He's a hole at the moment.
Well, they're bringing on a replacement, aren't they, by the looks of it? But I think the game's got to be done. There we go.
There's the final whistle. Argyle have done it. Massive scalp. Unbeaten in 2025, and they're through to the next round of the FA Cup. Morgan Whittaker gets his name on the score sheet. Joe Edwards down there. Galloway gets a hug from the Nance and Joe Edwards, and everyone's hugging everyone. And they left everything out there this afternoon. Plegathuelo's just stretching out his calves. There was cramp all over the field. The Brentford players respectfully shaking hands, but that was a massive performance this afternoon from Argyle. They have left nothing out there. Every ounce of energy is there on the grass here at the G-Tech. And what else might we expect but a Morgan Whittaker special? Cuts in from the right-hand side. The first hole gets closed. The second one does. He's patient. He goes along the line. Shot into the bottom left-hand corner. And he has fired Argyle into the hat for the fourth round of the FA Cup. Finished Brentford 0, Argyle 1.
Well, let's be honest. We had hoped, but we certainly didn't expect, and that was just incredible, wasn't it? Just a fantastic performance, but a really tactically clever, because the way that they went about it, absorbed the pressure. Things, don't get me wrong, things went for Argyle, but to be able to execute their game plan against a Premier League team in the form that they're in, the pressure they've been under, a testament. Joe Edwards and Kevin Nanskill have got this squad, playing in a way that they haven't been playing, and the positivity. We're looking at the players buzzing on the pitch right now, and what a way to send it off and to hand over to the new manager and go, there you go. There's goodwill, there's form, there's a positivity around the team, and just buzzing seeing the players going over to the fans now. And
yeah, absolutely. And the Argyle fans couldn't wait for the players to get across, and the players now do go across, and it's all celebrations. It's a green and white party over on the right-hand corner, it's away to our right-hand side, left-hand corner, as the Argyle players would look at it. They're punching the air and they're supporting the fans, and the fans are cheering them back, and it's been a huge performance, but the players might just have made a rod for their own back. The new manager's here. He's going to expect that every week.
Well, yeah, we haven't said it yet, Alan, but the magic of the FA Cup.
Oh, yeah, well done.
It has to be. I mean, this is an absolute, what's expected, a coupon buster. No one would have had this game down as Brentford losing it, let alone Argyle to keep a clean sheet, to put in a performance, to see a brilliant goal from open play against the Premier League side. And I know, Argyle are Championship team. They should be able to compete in these matches, but it was a tall order at the start of this, and they made a brilliant performance and a great display of what can be achieved from this squad. Shows the capability of them, and they go into these next 3 massive league games in a different frame of mind. Now they've got to just patch up the bodies and get people back on the pitch and recover, but it's a lot easier recovering after a performance, after a win like this, than it is after getting beat, because your mentality, the psychology of it all, and the players will be itching to see who they get in the next round. It's just such a brilliant thing to be able to push on, and the fans deserve it today, because they've been in brilliant voice as well.
And when you win a game, I guess, in such a big way as they done with that kind of performance, you just want to get out and do it again. They'll be as you say, they'll be looking forward to midweek. It's like, we can't wait to go again. Yeah, well, that's what you want, isn't it? And we're looking at the bench. They've got players to come in. They've got players out that, Hardy, massive players for Plymouth Argyle that are going to look at this and say, I want to be back in contention for the next round. But it gives those players on the pitch validation. It gives the manager validation. I mean, I'm sure he'll be going in the change rooms afterwards and congratulating them and saying a big thank you to Kevin Nanskill and Joe Edwards, because I tell you what, they're unbeaten in their. They are. They're unbeaten. I think there's a lot to be said for knowing the players, knowing the task at hand, and being part of that journey, and they'll be very important going forward, I hope. Yeah. If they're going to be part of the plans for Muslich, but let's enjoy today. Yeah, well, I mean, it is a day to be enjoyed. The players are just coming off the field now, and they battle through the pain barrier as well, don't we? Sorinola, just how we got through that last 2 or 3 minutes was amazing, really, and Plegathuelo was down, and physically he had a lot of injuries. He was down for a while, but Morgan Whittaker again pulling all the stops in with that goal. And Whittaker, we saw more of a defensive. He pitched in with that too. Yeah, but again, he showed his class at this level. That he's more than a match competing with these players, but just didn't look overawed and was very much a standout player for Argyle. Mamba was as well, don't get me wrong, and we can go through each of those performances and say how good they were, but collectively Argyle just beat a Premier League team in the FA Cup, and couldn't be more pleased for them, and let's hope that it really impacts these next 3 massive games for them. Exactly. I mean, it wasn't a great game going forward, but there was so much to take from this for Argyle, as you say, lots to take for the next 3 games, which, as I say, we've got the icing, we now need the cake. And but here at the GMAT this afternoon, fantastic result for Argyle. It's finished Brentford 0, Plymouth Argyle 1.
Snowdrops opening, the sparkle of frost on the lawn, to the sound of songbirds chatting in the trees. These are things that we celebrate on my weekly radio show, as well as offering fixes for your garden woes and barrow loads of inspiration. So join me, Toby Buckland, BBC Radio Devon, every Sunday morning from 10.
BBC Radio Devon. Sport. With James Vickery.
Wow, what an afternoon of FA Cup action we've had for Devon's sides. The shock of the day here in West London. Plymouth Argyle of the Championship knock out Premier League side Brentford.
Dummies to shoot, and then he gets the shot away, and it's low and hard, and it finds the bottom left-hand corner. Morgan Whittaker doing what Morgan Whittaker does. Argyle have soaked up so much possession from Brentford. Morgan Whittaker cuts along the edge of the area, unleashes a left foot shot. Argyle lead. Brentford 0, Argyle 1.
Finds Scarlett. Scarlett will look into the middle. There's Phillips. And Oxford have gone from defence to attack, and they take the lead on the 13-minute mark. It was Dembele who worked the wonder for Oxford. He burst out from defence, was able to find the striker, Dane Scarlett, and his first-time ball across the box came to Matt Phillips, who tucked it away to Whitworth's left, and Oxford take the lead. It's Exeter 0, Oxford 1. Just outside the penalty area, Mitchell!